All right, excellent. Welcome, everybody. What? Hold on, we got a surprise. Crypto Casey's in the house.
Hello.
Yeah.
Welcome. Last minute, but here we are.
All right.
Yep, last minute. You got to pay attention. I've told you in the past, keep an eye out. We didn't even know it was coming, or people called and said she was available and warned that she was going to show up. So welcome as always, Casey. We really do appreciate you. And I'm your host, Edward Pereira. We are joined by my good friend. We are all good friends here. My good friend and business partner, Attilla, and Mr. Fast Eddie Simon Bar Sinister, Mr. Barsano, the creator of the magic platform that you're going to see today. So with that, let me start with some expectations, as we always try to let you know how you're going to spend your time. But we're so grateful that you joined us. And strap in, put your seatbelts on extra tight. You're going to need them. You're going to see some pretty amazing things. So bear with me just a moment. Yeah. All right. Okay, please confirm that you can see my big red letters.
Yes.
All right, so I'm not going to read it word for word, but just so you know, this is for educational and informational purposes only. We are not, none of us are financial, tax, legal, anything experts other than providing value. Well, let me take that back. Mr. Barsano is an expert in programming with 50 years experience in crypto. Casey, you already know her. We're all rabid fans, and that's likely why you're here. You're either a subscriber and have learned from her over the years, or someone tapped you on the shoulder and said, dude, you better show up for this. So we appreciate you. We're not licensed. We're not advising you. We're letting you know about a product that is on the market that you won't find anywhere else, that has an opportunity to improve as much of your financial well-being as you would like. It's at your own risk. It's as is. We're not making it up. We're gonna present things from a factual perspective, and take away what you will. But it's extraordinary value. So with that, what can you expect? You're going to expect. Thank you. No one sent me a note other than Attilla last week that I misspelled transformation. So I have been transformed with the proper spelling now. What can you expect today? Complete transformation. You're going to see something again that doesn't exist. If you've been following Casey, then you know, because she was skeptical, and I won't steal her thunder, but when she first saw this platform, she said scam. I think there's a slightly different story, and you can ask her. So it's going to be about a 45-minute overview and a deep dive into GoBabyTrade, which is the genius platform, autonomous crypto trader. Autonomous as in, you're going to hear this 10 times or more, 100% set it and forget it. After a 10-minute setup process, it literally works 24/7, 365, while you're sleeping, while you're awake. Set it and forget it, period. And it doesn't exist anywhere else. It's completely automated. You're going to have a chance to see what I call the $1 billion report, which identifies optimal trading opportunities. Now, again, it's once you pick it, once you use this brilliant report, you don't have to do anything. You don't have to look at it. There's zero screen time. You're going to get a chance to see 2 live demonstrations. One is a simulated trading that I used from the $1 billion report that is picking the trading opportunities. You're going to see a live demonstration of mine and Mr. Barsano's. And then you're going to see why, by the end of this, that it truly is a set it and forget it trading platform, period. You're going to find that we're super excited. We're not in the selling mode, but it's more of an educational. But if you get to the other side of this and you're scratching your head going, geez, I wonder if it's real. As I said, keep an eye on the chat. You've got a proponent of once skeptic and now a believer in crypto, Casey, and it's a rare opportunity that she joins us. We're always grateful. So count yourself lucky that you're here. And with that, I'll turn it over to Attilla, and we'll start down the road.
Awesome, Edward. Thanks for that great introduction, and for keeping it brief. Awesome. We're on our way. And my job here, folks, My name is Attilla. Have a seat. I am mainly, I've been most of my life in the financial services world. But a little bit about my background, and I don't want to bore you with the details, but let me just fast forward to September, actually right around the 10th, between the 8th and the 12th of September of 2020. So almost 5 years ago. I was in the right place at the right time, and I decided proactively on purpose to jump into this digital money revolution and learn all I could. I said to myself, I missed the internet revolution. There's no way I'm missing this because it's just way too fascinating. I get bored very easily, and this was so fascinating to me. And still to this day, I have not been bored 1 minute of 1 hour of one day in this space because there's so much happening every day. I can't keep up with 1/1000th of it. It's crazy. But I said, I missed the internet revolution. I'm not going to miss this one. I promised myself, and I haven't. Got myself developed a good crypto portfolio. And you know what? I still learn every day because we're so early. Folks, if you take nothing else out of this other than obviously the merits of owning a trading license, but other than that, if you understand how early we are in this space, we're kind of like where the internet revolution was back in 2000 to 2002. That's how early we are. I mean, it's crazy. So anyway, I want to explain how I met Mr. Barsano. It's an interesting story. And back in, first of all, his background's interesting as well. He was one of the first, after the Navy, several years after, he was one of the first people hired by Microsoft as their engineer and programmer by Bill Gates, one of the first 300, did very, very well with them for 9 years, retired a young man, under 40. He was bored, so
Still young.
yeah, he's still a baby. But he's really developed an unbelievable history of programming. We're talking 50 years of programming
Thanks.
experience. So that's almost 51, I think we determined last call. But anyway, the bottom line is that he got into the stock market, bought a lot of tech stocks, and in 2000 he got his clock cleaned. And that was a very, very, very fortunate thing for all of us on this Zoom, because based on that event, he made a decision to level the playing field for the average person and build a system, build a technology, a software where people can not rely on emotion, not gamble, and have a very, very fair shot and legitimate shot of just making money every day, every second day, every third day with this software, which was the robotic autonomous stock market trader, which he developed in 2000, 2001. And he did very well with that. But in 2012, he was approached by a marketing company that he ended up doing business with. And then after 2 years of $16 million worth of sales, he had, partnerships are just tough. So he decided at that point, I'm going back to solo. And he continued to do well. In 2019, he sold out to a hedge fund that had previously purchased many licenses from him. Now, in 2012, a buddy of mine said, Attila, how'd you like to trade the stock market without doing a darn thing? Well, I said, I've always wanted to trade the stock market, but I'm not a technical person. I have no patience to learn any such thing. He said, no, 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 no. You got to understand this is a gentleman that developed a fully robotic, autonomous trader. And guess what? You could partake in that if you wish. So basically what happened was I took about, I don't know how much time we spent, Ed, but we spent some time together. And I said, boy, this is exactly what I would love to implement for myself, in addition to everything else I was doing at the time. So I bought the trader. And I must say, back then, it was cumbersome to set up. It took about 60 to 90 minutes. Not so today, but back then but once it was set up, it turned itself on at 9:30 in the morning, Monday morning, right when the stock market opened, traded for you all day long, taking profits, buying more stock when it went down. And then at 4 p.m. when the stock market closed, it shut itself off. He did this 100% unattended. So what does that mean? That means set it and forget it. That means no screen time, zero screen time. What does that mean? That means you could go live your life and do what you would normally do, and this technology is making you money. It's phenomenal to think about that happening today. Imagine how amazing it was in 2001 when he launched this, when Mr. Barsano launched it. It was incredible. So the bottom line is this is kind of where the story shifts a little bit, and I'm almost done. But in 2019, when he sold out to that hedge fund, a lot of his clients that bought the trader were bugging him saying, Ed, why don't you develop a trader for crypto? And at first he resisted because he was busy and he was working on some other things, but then he thought about it and he did some homework and he said, you know what, I'm going to do that. And he did that. He launched it in April of 21. So what happened was in March of 2024, I kind of had a rough day at the office one day. And I'm sitting there going, I got a great crypto portfolio, but I'm a cash flow guy. I love when my money's making money on itself. And I had, unfortunately, I'm embarrassed to say, lost plenty of money in 5 different blockchain, let's call it blockchain cash flow projects over the last 5 years. And so, when that happens, you're very cautious. But I decided to, at that point in time, figure out how the heck I could keep making money on my crypto. So I wanted my crypto to make more crypto on itself, basically, to multiply itself. And so I'm sitting there going, how the heck am I going to do this without the risk that I just exposed myself to over the last 3, 4 years? It took me a day, but I remembered after 24 hours, Mr. Barsano's name popped in my head, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'll bet my friend Ed somewhere in the last 3 to 5 years developed a trader for crypto. So I still had his phone number on my phone. I called him. We spoke for 3 hours and he confirmed my hunch. He said, yeah, I launched it in April of 21. And he said, Attilla, this is light years ahead of the stock trader. I'm like, why? He said, 4 compelling reasons. Number one, you need volatility, lots of volatility to be successful in any kind of trading, whether you're trading precious metals, stocks, um, Forex, crypto. He said, there's no asset class more volatile than crypto. I said, absolutely right. Number two, he said, stocks trade 5 days a week, 6 hours a day. Crypto's 24/7. Big advantage. And guess what? I agreed. It is a big advantage. Number three was a biggie for me, and number four was humongous. Number three was this. He said, Attilla, it's not downloadable software anymore. It's web-based. And I said, I'm not sure exactly what that means, Ed. Explain. So he said, well, I could have you trading live connected to your Coinbase in under 10 minutes when you buy the software. I said, giddy up, let's go. I bought it on the spot, and in about 8, 9 minutes, I was connected to Coinbase live with just under $10,000. Now, that was amazing to me because I remember what it was like in 2012. Nothing like that. But number four was the most important to me and should be the most important to all of you. Listen carefully. He said, until I created an API connection. This API connects to your own Coinbase or your own Kraken account, so you control your crypto 1000%. I can't touch your crypto if I wanted to. My trader sends the buying signals and the selling signals to your exchange. And I said, Ed, that's pure genius. And I explained to him why, which is what I just explained to all of you about the monies I lost because I didn't have control of that crypto. That's why I lost them. They were sitting at a third party. When things went south, I couldn't access them, my funds. So I said, that's pure genius. So Ed, we got to take this to the world. We got to share this. And that's kind of how we re-engaged our friendship. And we had fun back in the day. Boy, in 2012, 13, we were flying to different parts of the country, breaking bread and going to meetings, and it was fun. Now, before I hand it back for a minute to my cohort, Edward, I would like to ask all of you, as we go through this today, to keep two very important things at the forefront of your mind. Number one, When we say throughout this webinar here, set it and forget it, we are as serious as a heart attack. It literally is set it, forget it, zero screen time. You could buy the software and set it up, go live, and then go travel the world, not even pay any attention to it. And it's working in the background on Mr. Barsano's servers. If your computer crashes, it's working in the background on Mr. Barsano's servers. If your computer is stolen, it's working in the background on Mr. Barsano's server. No worries. The second thing I'd like everybody to understand is understand what this man has created. It's never been done before. He leveled the playing field whereby, without any of you or anybody else being an accredited investor, without you knowing anything about trading, without you knowing anything about crypto, you hardly have to know anything about computers. You could now make money in your sleep. Maybe not every single day, because this trader, like all traders, are market dependent. It might be every day for a week and then nothing for 2 days, and then you'll have more profits coming in on day 3, 4, 5, and then again for one day. So it may not be every day. It may be every second day, every third day, but over time, this is a lifetime trader. This is a lifetime event. This is not get rich quick. It's get rich slow and steady. Okay, depending on how much money you have in there, obviously. The more money you have in there, the more money it'll make. Mr. Barsano will cover that. So with that, we will introduce our special guests here in a moment, but I want to turn it back to Edward because a little over, well, actually, the 25th of this month, in a few days, today's the 20th, in 5 days, it'll be 5 months. Edward changed gears and strategies with his paper trading account. And what's happened since is just, it's off the charts. I want everybody to see that so you can see what this trader is capable of. But first, Edward, I believe we have a special announcement, a surprise announcement for today, right?
Yes. We actually
All
have
right, tell us about it.
Yep. Thank you, Attila. We actually have another special guest that we'd like to thank and honor. Gentleman by the name of Anthony from Hawaii just sent us a video testimonial. And we found out that this gentleman is a retired Army hero, disabled American veteran, that you'll get a chance to see it because he's given us permission to post it. So keep an eye out for that. But he very made me very emotional because he thanked Crypto Casey for giving him the opportunity to be educated on the crypto. He took on the crypto market. He took a leap of faith and never looked back. And then he bought the trader because Crypto Casey suggested that he attend one of the webinars and just learn. And he also, Anthony also reached out to us and said he thanked Mr. Barsano for being the genius for creating this, and two other little guys, Attilla and a guy by the name of Edward, for bringing this together and supporting the whole framework. So we want to say thank you very, very much to Anthony. Thanks for taking the time and putting that video together. It's a testament, and I think it touched everybody on this side, that gives us a great reflection of what we're trying to do, which is simply serve others by way of giving them an opportunity to participate in improving the value of their family. Anthony also mentioned that it gave him an opportunity to serve his family well from a financial perspective. And that's really, in a nutshell, that is everything that we strive to do here. So again, thank you. And he was chosen as to, well, not chosen, he took it upon himself to send it to us, but for giving us that opportunity and such a great testimonial, we offered him a $50 in crypto and sent it. We would send it to him at any time, and he not refused, but he asked us to pay it forward. So with that, what we'd like to do is anybody that decides to take advantage of buying the trader from this particular week, we'll identify that the first one to
This
to
particular
purchase it.
Zoom, Edward, I believe it's this particular Zoom, isn't it?
Yes, this particular Zoom, right?
Yeah.
The first person that that decides that they want to take a leap of faith and jump in, we're going to, on Anthony's request, pay it forward. We'll send you, we'll work it out. We'll send an email to you, and then you let us know what kind of crypto you want. And we'll send it to you. So with that, thank you again. Thank you for the opportunity to share that. And then I'll.
Are we going to see it?
No. No, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send it. I wasn't queued up. Sorry for the big buildup, but it wasn't queued up to play it. But we'll put a link we'll post it as a private on our a private video on financial intelligence along with the video that'll be open, or along with the replay of this. It'll be open source, but anybody that registered for it will get the link to it and they can watch it. But Anthony's also given us the opportunity and approval to be able to share it. So it'll be on the site. We'll share it with Mr. Barsano, of course, with Casey, for whom, if she was not here teaching us all, that wouldn't have been possible. So sorry, Mr. Barsano, we'll get it. We'll get it to
No,
where
it's okay.
So yeah, with that, so let me take a deep breath and get a little bit less emotional and share my trader, if bear with me.
Yep. And for those of you who are new, just so you know, sometimes we forget to say this, but Mr. Barsano still has, when he redid and when he started from scratch and he developed the crypto autonomous robotic trader, he still has the stock market version. It's a separate license. You could get the same crypto Casey discount, by the way, because as all of you, well, not all of you, some of you know, some of you may not know, the normal price of this 3-year license is $44.99. When you go to Crypto Casey's link that will be posted after Edward shares his paper trading account, it'll be in the chat. You click on that link, you save $1,000 by being a Crypto Casey listener or advocate or fan or member or loyal audience. Okay, so I'm just letting, that's just an FYI. Now, I don't know why
I just posted it.
I don't know why anybody would want to trade stocks when the cryptos are so much more volatile, but some people, they're into it. So just let you know.
Yep, I just posted the Crypto Casey's exclusive discount link.
Perfect.
And I'll do that several times through the presentation. All right, so I'm ready.
Okay, share the screen. There we go. It's coming up.
Oh, look, in perfect form. Mr. Barsano did it again.
That's great.
Yeah.
So folks, that's what pops up when the trader actually makes a transaction or takes a profit for you. And it just happened minutes ago, and it should be down below. It is down below already.
Yep. Yeah, we'll see that. So I'll clear that. I'll give you an overview. So what I did was, and later in the presentation, you'll see what I call the $1 billion report, which and in the setup identifies the optimal coins in which to trade. Now, optimal, in my explanation is ones that are extraordinarily volatile. We already know that they're coins of value because they're listed on. Not all of them are listed on both Coinbase and Kraken, but if they're listed, particularly, I'm a fan of Coinbase. And both platforms, Coinbase and Kraken, do a lot of vetting of companies and don't just list everybody, you guys know that by now, but it identifies coins that are extraordinarily volatile, and that'll make sense. But just that gives you a reference and a background as to why I picked these. Now, Zora down the bottom, I don't remember the lady or gentleman that brought that up. Why it did not show on the annual report is because it didn't have a year's worth of data, but it is still tradable. So if you put it in, and what I did was just as an example, put it in there, and it started buying it right away. So it's taken a lot of lots in inventory. So that's another one that I've added. Again, this is a simulation. So no harm, no foul, but it lets people know that it works. So I started this, say it's the 20th. So in 5 days, it'll be 5 months, but just a shade under 5 months. At the end of March 25th, it has taken. I started with $100,000 as a simulation. Now, don't go, wow, no, I don't have $100,000. It's just a reference point. It could be 1,000. It could be 10,000. The positions that it takes doesn't necessarily look at the money. It divides it all up when you put it in there, and whenever you add more money, and it just trades. So your results are going to be similar percentage wise, right? So the 100,000 really is just an arbitrary, but it's now the account value with all the inventory that it's holding is worth 120,000. So in 5 months, that's it. And that fluctuates as the price of the coins go up and down. You've seen quite a bit of turmoil or volatility. And I always say that this trader eats volatility. So it doesn't matter that you have some underwater. I'm not going to say losing, because one really, really important thing to remember is this platform is programmed to never sell at a loss. All it does is collect inventory. It doesn't short. It doesn't take risk. Mr. Barsano has made it boring to make money on your money by creating a system that just takes advantage of the market, whether it goes up or down. So in the last 30 days, it's taken $5,600, almost $5,700 in profit. Over the 5-month period, it's taken almost 40,000. So that's at a run rate. If you broke that down into an annual, a daily, and then annualize it, it's running right about 100% on your money. So almost as much, I think, as Mr. Barsano was saying, his bank pays on his savings account. So I'll pause for the great laughter. There's nowhere else you're going to get even 30% on your money. So pay very, very close attention. And then down here.
Do you mind if I just add one caveat that everybody needs to know? And you may have mentioned it, I may have missed it, but the trader doesn't know whether it's trading live or simulating. Okay, it'll get you the same results. Okay, because sometimes questions come in like, what would the trader have done if this would have been live? Same thing. That's the answer. Okay.
Right. The trader thinks it's real.
Yeah.
It doesn't know. It doesn't. Thank you for that point. That's a very, very important point. And as you saw, as soon as I brought this up to show you, right? Pepe took a trade, closed a profitable trade, and made $41. Right? Sorry, Attila.
No, I'm just saying it's right there as the top one. Yeah.
Right. So if it says today, it's today. So if I go down even earlier today, look at 12:17, I wasn't awake. I was sort of awake with my first cup of coffee at 9:06. So it was buying positions. But if you then look a little bit further, I'm going to scroll down a little bit. Okay. So yesterday it bought. Most of those positions. Today, it's sold, all by itself. I didn't push any buttons. Again, like Attila had suggested, once you get it set up and it connects directly via API to your Coinbase or Kraken account, you fund your USD or USDC in either platform, and away it goes. Right? You choose the coins. Again, we'll share in the $1 billion report. You'll kind of know where I picked these. When I started it 5 months ago, this particular simulation. These were all, I don't know about Zora, but with Pepe, Ando, and Bonk were all in the top 10 of most volatile or most closed profitable trades over the last year. So that's where they came from. But with that, let me turn it back over to Mr. Hevesy, and we'll continue to share.
Can you do one thing before you go back? Is it gone already?
Sure. Yep. Bear with me. All right.
I just wanted to point out something there. In the filled orders, go back to the top today, that today trade. You close that Pepe at 1058. You see the price?
Yep.
Down at the bottom, 1058.
Yep, 1058.
And the current price now, if you go up above, is 1044. So it actually went down after you closed it. So it went up and you closed it and then it went down. It's like, thank you. Thanks for the free money.
Right. I
You know?
was just going to say, you always say it's just free money.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Edward.
Yep.
So
You good?
Whereas a buy and holder wouldn't have benefited at all from it. You bought it at some time and you're sitting on it, it's going up and down, you're not making any money. With the auto trader, you're taking profits constantly.
exactly. So at this moment, great observation, Ed. That's exactly a fact. So we want to thank our special guest, Ed Barsano. You're so generous with your time for always coming on here and joining us with for Crypto Casey's audience every Wednesday. We do
I
this
live for Wednesdays.
I know you told us that many times, and we love that you live for it because you do such a great job for everybody. And Crypto Casey, thank you for surprising us today with your presence. It's really nice whenever you could come aboard. It's not that often, but when you do, it's awesome. So we'll give you your chance to interrogate Mr. Barsano.
All right,
We'll
awesome.
do it.
All right. So Ed, I know you probably have some comments on some of the things I brought up and I said. I don't know if you were taking notes. You usually in the last 4 or
Yeah,
5
there was a
weeks.
few. I did make a few comments.
Okay.
You said you get rich quick. You don't get rich quickly, but I say you could. It's up to the market. The robotic trader is taking all the money the market is willing to give up. It can't take money that the market doesn't want to give. Nobody can make money if the market doesn't want to give it. But that's the beauty of the robotic trader is it's stalking that market like the ever ready bunny rabbit. I mean, it is running. And, I got a small animation made. One example I always talk about is a normal tow booth makes the tow booth industry in this country is a multi-billion-dollar a year industry. You can Google that. I didn't make that up. And all they do is park the tow booths out there and the cars come to it. And a car goes to a tow booth, he pays one time and he's done. And, if it was the GoBabyTrade tow booth, the GoBabyTrade tow booth chases the car down the highway. And I mean the car it'll chase it right to its garage and keep making it pay over and over again.
Talk about
Repeat.
stalking.
Yeah. So I did create a small animation.
A new animation? This one you've been talking about?
Well, it's not a good one, but the guy created it. It didn't cost much and it's not exactly what I wanted. But can you see it?
Ken, yes.
Yep.
It's so he pays
Go baby trade. Totally. That's
and then he
crazy.
drives a little bit further and he pays again, you know. And 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 really he pays a lot more than what they're showing. But he pays again. And we just follow this car no matter where it goes. It's just we just keep making it pay. And 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 they can't get away, they can't escape. It's just like the crypto market is no matter where they move those prices, we're following that price everywhere it goes. We don't sit around and wait for the prices to come to us. We go to the price and say, pay me, and pay me again, and pay me again, and don't stop paying me forever. And there's nothing anybody can do to stop us because we're not violating any laws, even though the market is an insult to humanity. It is so easy. And I guess we're the only ones that seem to do this, and I've been doing it for 25 years. And the car tries to go the other way, but that doesn't work because we're just gonna keep following it wherever it goes and make it keep paying. And
That's great.
hopefully we're at the end here. But until he gets to his debt, until he stops driving, we're gonna keep taking money. And that's what the crypto market is. It's just as long as that crypto market stays, as long as that coin stays in business, They're just going to keep paying us and paying us and paying us. He goes to his garage. Sorry, I'm not going to let you in your garage. Pay me. So that was a dumb animation. It didn't,
That's
No,
hilarious.
that's a good,
cost
Kev-
much.
a good start.
Kevin says it's like driving in New Jersey
Yeah, or Florida, right?
or Florida. Yeah, that's
Anything else,
hilarious.
Ed?
What's that?
Anything else you wanted to comment on?
Well, just as soon as I turned the robotic trader on for cryptos, I remember this guy. What was his name? L. Powell.
Al
Yeah.
Powell.
Back
Yeah.
around 2021, he said, "Why don't you automate the crypto market?" It was a year after I released the stock version of the web-based version of GoBabyTrade for
Mhm.
stocks. He said, "Why don't you do crypto?" So I figured, why not? Now I have time. People were asking me all the way since 2017 to automate the crypto market, and I was very busy with the stocks, so I kind of was ignoring everybody. And then I figured, well, I got time to go ahead and kill I found a couple US based exchanges. I didn't want to just automate any exchange around the world because they were getting hacked and everything. And so I found, Coinbase and Kraken. I said, oh, these are US based exchanges, and Coinbase trades on the US stock market. So I figured they look pretty safe. I'll automate those two. And I'll tell you, as soon as I turned that on, it blew my mind. I'm like, holy Toledo, I'm done with stocks. After 21 years, I said, man, I am done with stocks after seeing how these cryptos move. 18% up, 18% down. I'm like, this is gold to an auto trader. I mean, this is like free money for life. This is again, I call it an insult to humanity because it's so insultingly simple. And not when I say simple, it's millions of lines of code, but the concept is simple. It's like a bucket in a well. The bucket doesn't have to go all the way down, just go down a little and go up a little and give me free money. And just do that forever. And it doesn't even matter where the price goes because the auto trader makes sure you have money to take it to the bottom. Even if the coin goes down there, we don't care where the price goes. We just care that we stay near the price. We're going to chase that price just like you saw in that webinar, in that car. We're going to chase that car anywhere it goes and make it keep paying us. And that's just and the moves you get in the crypto market are phenomenal. And if it jumps up, you get a big move like that, you sell all the inventory that you were holding off. So it doesn't even matter that you're holding some inventory that might be a little underwater. It really doesn't matter. So we all know that if it was water, the bucket would have to go all the way to the bottom to get the water and go all the way back up. The bucket can't stop halfway and go back up if it was water because there'd be no water in the bucket. But with cryptos, it doesn't hardly have to move. A couple percent down, a couple percent up, give me free money forever. This is the ultimate savings account. It blows away banks. And by the way, banks take your money and they don't even give you any interest. Look what I got. I got this one of these credit card things in the mail that said, get our credit card. Can you see the interest that they're charging you?
31%.
I mean, talk about an insult to humanity. That is unbelievable that you would
Man.
put your money in a bank and get no interest, and then they
Well,
can loan your money out and get 30% on it, and they're not even sharing with us. What are we, 6 year? Are we 6 years old? I mean, that we would allow that kind of thievery. I
It
mean,
gets
it's
worse.
amazing.
You give them your money and then they lend it back to you and charge you 39%.
Yeah. And then they hit you up for late fees and all kinds of different fees for different things. Anyways, I just wanted to share that with you. I really didn't take a lot of notes from when you usually talk, you say a lot of stuff wrong and then I have to correct you. But this time you did really good.
You notice I didn't do much of the talking.
You know, when I created the market in 2000, or when I got hammered in the market, it wasn't like I was doing anything wrong, really. because all the tech stocks in the 90s were just going straight up, and I was in all of them, or a lot of them. And then when the market crashed and they pushed the coins down or the stocks down like that, I mean that was pure thievery that I saw. And I said, well, I'm not going to put up with that. Nobody likes to get robbed. So I said, I'll just automate the market. And I didn't realize that that when I did that, I was doing something nobody had done. I'm like, why hasn't anybody done this? It's just numbers going up and down.
Mhm.
And even TD Ameritrade, when they called me in 2006 and said, will you connect your robotic trader to us so our clients can use it? I was surprised to get a call like that. I'm like, really? You're calling me. I'm like, why are you calling me? And I loved his answer. And some of you have heard me say it before. It was the most profound response. He said, you're real. Isn't that just like the coolest thing you could think of for an answer? You're real. It's like, yeah, that's what I said. Yeah, I am real. And he's right. And that was kind of cool. And what I see out there, what everybody's doing in the stuff that's out there, all these, and there were no bots or anything like that in the stock market from 2001 all the way till recently. There were no bots. I had no competitors. And now all of a sudden these bots are popping up, these crypto bots, and they're all saying, we have AI, we have AI. And I'm like, I've had AI in my traders since 2001 from the beginning. I never bragged about AI. I mean, AI is a nice bell and a whistle. It's got some nice things you could do with it, but not if you're using Chat GPT or anything, because the AI, whatever AI, where are they getting their data? My traders feed the AI. Every robotic trader writes data to files. That's thousands of robotic traders that are running that GoBabyTrade has are writing data to files every minute that the AI trains on and it learns. So it's actually learning what the market is doing. It's learning all the patterns, and that's what AI is. It's pattern recognition, and then how to handle it. And so, I mean, my AI's been running for 25 years. Their AI's been running for a couple of years. It's like a 2-year-old competing with a 25-year-old. They don't have a prayer.
Yeah.
And then I watch how they're using it. And I admit, I don't go to other websites, and look at their apps. I don't want to look at it. And, but once in a while, someone will send me an email and I'll look and I'll go and look and they'll say, hey, can you tell me what's the difference between your app, your trader and this other one? And I figure, all right, fine, I'll go take a quick look. I'm not going to get too deep into it. But as soon as I look at their websites, they say crazy stuff. Like, you can pick from 1 to 51 strategies or from 1 to 50 strategies. I'm like, where are you getting 50 different strategies to make money? I mean, think about it. You only have so much money. You got to pick a strategy and go with it. And you want to go with one that works. You can't throw 50 strategies at me. They can't all work. And then that means you're just gambling and they're putting it on you to pick one of those 50 strategies. I'm like, forget it. With us, everyone that signs up already has the same strategy that I'm using, the same strategy that Edward's using. I mean, we know how to get money out of the market and consistently and in perpetuity forever. And there's no way to stop us unless the coin goes out of business. That's the only way to stop the auto trader from taking more money. And it's just going to keep taking for the rest of your life. And so I look at their traders and I'm like, and then they're all saying, hey, we have AI. But then when you go look at their website, they don't tell you where's the AI? What are you doing with the AI? How are you using the AI? They don't even mention it. They just want everybody to think because they have what AI that somehow it's magical, that it's going to make the markets do stuff. AI can't make the market do anything. Let me tell you that. The AI can only, I mean, the market's going to do what the market's going to do, and you have to know how to take money out of the market. So the
Well,
AI can enhance your trader, but the AI can't make your strategy make money unless your strategy is already built to make money. The robotic trader, the strategy that everyone's running with GoBabyTrade is designed to make money. You can see it right here, and it's so simple. It goes down a little, you buy. It goes up a little, you sell. It's not rocket science. And there's a lot of code behind that. There's a lot of things that go wrong in the market that the auto trader corrects. Now that's another problem. If they haven't been around a long time, their auto trader doesn't know what it doesn't know. They don't know all the issues that are going to come up that came up over the years that are built into the software that prevent it. All the corruption that's out there. I hate to say that, but there's a lot of corruption in the market. The data is fake. A lot of the data you see coming that when you're looking at the prices, they're not even real, and you see them on the screen. I get people ask me that a lot. They'll say, how come my auto trader didn't take that profit? When it showed the price went up there, it's like, well, the price didn't really go up there. You're looking at maybe for 5 shares it went up there, but you want to buy 10,000 shares of this coin, or you want to sell 10,000 shares, and that's only 5 shares. That's only 5 shares that's available at that price. If I look at the level 2 screen, and most people, I'm sure their auto traders can't even do this. These are all actual orders that people are floating out there, and you see some of these the sizes. Did you see that 21 shares go by? I mean, that's fake. Or these 300 shares down here, if you see it fast enough, there's the 377 shares. It's like if you're buying 5,000 shares, you're not going to get that 350 shares price is not real, because you're not going to get filled at that. You're not going to be able to sell 5,000 shares. They're only willing to buy 357 shares. And so there's a lot of, the software interrogates the level 2 screen. And if you're not interrogating this screen, then the data you're seeing isn't necessarily going to be real all the time.
I don't think people understand how important that is, Ed. That's a
Oh, it's critical.
big deal. That is critical.
And millions of people don't understand when they float limit orders at the exchange. Like say you buy a coin, and as soon as you buy it, you put a limit order out there and you say, if the price goes up here, I want to sell it and take profit. So you've set the price, but you've put that in public view. That level 2 screen is your orders. This is your order that you just put out there, and it's sitting out there. And look at those 40. Did you see that 46 shares down below there? That's crazy low. These are fake. And you see it go by up here. I saw the 51 shares. There's 5.1 shares. That's an insult. But they throw these fake orders out there, plus your order is out there. A professional trader is sitting there. I actually sat in a professional day trading house in 2001 where the professionals were sitting there trading, and we were all just looking at the level 2 screen. That's all we had on the screens. And I went in there really to get their data, because I didn't have high-speed internet at my house at the time. So I went in there just with my laptop, and I figure I'll basically steal, I don't want to say steal their data, but I needed to get the data so I could do development and play it back, right? And while I was there, I was trading. So I bought some Microsoft. And then, I'm very vocal. So I just said to the whole room, it was all this bullpen. I mean, this whole big room with tables and everybody sitting with laptops in front of them, or computers actually. And I said, hey, I bought this Microsoft. How do I know when to sell it? I just threw that right out there to see what would happen. And someone came up to my right shoulder, and he said, it's easy. You see that guy's order right there? Sell it right under him. And I'm like, oh my God. So in other words, they're drying up all the buyers. So everybody that wants to buy, it won't go to your price because they're selling their shares right under you. They're literally, they see your order and they're buying and selling right under you. See, how many times do you ever see a price start to approach your target price if you're looking at a chart and then see it turn around just before it got to it? That's the reason. Because you're floating your orders in public view. They're looking at it. It's like playing poker and showing everybody your cards. You already know you wouldn't do that. But for some reason, when it comes to the stock market or the crypto market, people forget about common sense things. See, because you know you wouldn't show your cards in a poker game. And it's obvious. And I mean, unless you're real little and you're always, you're just waving your cards around for everybody to see, you don't realize what you're doing. But I mean, as an adult, you're supposed to hide your cards. But when it comes to the markets, for some reason, everyone throws out common sense. They don't realize that if you would approach the market with the same common sense you use in your life, in your everyday life, you do a lot better. But the problem is, and I've been analyzing, this is like therapy for me. I've been analyzing society for 25 years on this subject. And everyone thinks that other people know more than they do. And they think that if a class is teaching how to trade the stock market, you would assume that that instructor actually trades the stock market. But you're wrong. You're wrong again. He doesn't trade. He's just teaching the class. He doesn't know how to apply the stuff. So he's teaching classes and they're teaching all the wrong stuff. And then you have to really look at society as a whole and the markets as a whole. And you got to ask yourself, was the stock market really just created to rob everybody? Because the stuff that they're teaching is all wrong. So for
And yet,
years, when I automated the stock market starting in 2001, the first thing I did is I wanted to learn, what does everyone else know? So let's automate their strategies. That's why that system had a problem, because it had 10 screens of things you could do. It had drop down menus and you name it, it had it. And I call it 10 screens of ways to blow yourself up. And so I had to learn what everyone was doing first and then unlearn it and actually have the audacity, the arrogance, if you will, to tell everybody you're all wrong. And you guys are chasing indicators, and I'm not going to do that. I'm going to chase money directly. And that makes all the difference. You can chase some indicator. I have 27 indicators this auto trader looks at. I put those all in the AI. It can manage that. Let it look at 27 indicators and the patterns that they produce. And the AI does it masterfully. Better than me sitting there looking at 27 monitors, trying to eyeball trends or patterns. The AI does it so much better, a million times better. And so that my auto trader has one job, just chase the money directly.
hey Ed, thank you for answering a question that I always ask you directly, which is what you just answered about how your AI separates itself and differentiates itself
Oh,
against all these other new AIs popping up. So I do appreciate that. But first of all, before I go further, I want to give Crypto Casey an opportunity to ask you a few questions. But before I even do that, earlier when we first started the Zoom, um, somebody popped on there on the chat and said, "Can we get a testimonial?" Well, we didn't play Anthony's testimonial because we weren't prepared to play it today, but everybody will eventually see it. But he did type in the chat the following. He said, "I don't have the ability to show you my trader here, but a little breakdown on my trader. I started my trader 71 days ago with $4,700, and with only 4 weeks in it, it took $300 plus of profits. I've invested more money and will continue to invest. I'm now trading with $10,000 plus with 3 coins and currently sitting on $1,708+ in total profit. At this rate, I'll hit my return on investment in roughly 140 days. Everything else is money in my exchange. I've said it
Not
once.
bad in a down market.
Right. I've said it once before, and I'll say it again. This trader is a blessing in disguise. Anthony, thank you for sharing that. Crypto Casey, you've been sitting there nice and patient. I'm going to hand the mic over to you. The spotlight is yours. Feel free to ask Ed anything you'd like to, or exchange
Hold
ideas with
on.
him or
Let me
whatever.
take a drink of my smart water here before
You got it.
you ask.
You got it. Welcome,
All
Crypto
right, guzzle
Casey.
down your smart water while I give my little spiel. So back in like January, well, it was 2024 now at this point. A friend of mine was in a situation that had nothing to do with crypto or blockchain and met Edward. And Edward had mentioned that he was in blockchain. And so my friend said, hey, you should meet Casey. And so I met up with Edward and Attila, and then they gave me this spiel about this thing that I usually, the buzzwords I use, I say, hey, steer away from anything that is set or forget it, or like, too good to be true, especially in crypto. So they're giving me the spiel. I'm just like scam, whatever. So anyways, they're like, hey, link back with us, whatever. I actually bought it without telling them. So I spent the $4,500 and I bought the trader, didn't tell them. And I ran it, I think through like April, so like 4 or 5 months. And then I did reach out to them and they're like, oh, so what's up? I'm like, well, I actually bought, I've been using it. And they're like, wait, what? We would have given it to you. I'm like, nah, I like to do the organic way. Like, I don't want any tricks or this part of my job is to experiment with everything. And then what I feel comfortable exposing to people, I will. And if I don't, then, water under the bridge. It was an investment in business. So then nobody else gets scammed and I can tell you about it. So made the video, and that was what, in August. So I had been using it for 8 months. Everything was good with mine. It was incredible. A couple of my crazy other friends, they bought it as well, and incredible experiences. And now, yeah, it's been a long time now. Yeah, August 2025. So that's why I met them. And then here's the questions I had, because the concept was pretty simple to me. So more of my questions were technical. So I said, hey, is your product, is it open source? And if not, why?
There's no way. Because if anybody even, usually open source, they're giving you functions that you can just call. And, because I mean, if you looked at the code, you'd die. You would die. There's parts of this code that I cringe. If there's a problem in a certain area, and there are certain areas of this code, it's kind of like you want to call it black box code. There's some code in there that is so complicated that you really don't want to have to touch that. And if there's a problem in that area, then you get really, I cringe, because there is some complicated parts of this code. It's millions of lines of code. I mean, the way my auto trader works is you have the auto trader, but the auto trader's job is just to find money. But the other programs that I wrote that feed the auto trader, that's the beauty of having it in-house. Of all the auto traders running on my servers, is because I can run all those other programs on my servers and talk through DDE, Dynamic Data Exchange. That's just basically through memory, just directly to the auto trader, without the auto trader having to go to a hard drive, or go out to the World Wide Web to get information. That all slows everything down. And so all these programs are feeding this auto trader. And it's, when you're talking about that much code and that kind of complexity, I could not make that open source. I mean, I wouldn't know what to give people. And not only that, the problem with open source is the people have to believe in the strategy. They have to believe, other developers out there would have to believe in their willingness to violate all the rules of the market that they've been taught to believe in, which are all wrong. So that's the thing. Being a programmer is one thing, but also accepting the reality. I saw a guy on TV today on channel 35, CNBC, I think it was, or MSNBC. And he was talking about he just sold some of his apples. Some of you might have watched that if you watch the stock channel. And he's just, sitting there with his suit and tie on again, looking like a big shot. Yeah, I just sold, half of my Apple holdings, last week, and I rolled it into these other stocks. And the other stocks happen to go down about 5%, and now I don't know. I've got to figure out what to do, what to do with that. And it's like, you got to figure it out. If you have an auto trader, it's already, if you haven't figured it out, the auto trader has already figured it out before it bought the coin. I mean, before it does anything, you've already won the game. As soon as the auto trader made a buy, it already said, and this is the difference between how people think versus how the auto trader thinks. When you buy, if somebody goes out and buys a coin, in their mind, it's going to go up. They're planning on it. They didn't buy it thinking it's going to go down. They bought it because they looked at some charts and all this stuff and listened to a lot of the BS that's on the internet. And they said, oh, it's going to go up. So they bought it with the intention of it going up. The auto trader actually, when it bought it, the auto trader wasn't thinking about it going up at all. The auto trader was thinking, what if it goes down? How am I going to handle that? The auto trader you've already won when the auto trader bought it because it knows how to handle the losers. Whereas that guy, what did he say? He sold half of his Apple position, rolled it into 3 other investments. They were all wrong. He admits, wow, yeah, they were wrong, man. I'm down 5% already. And he doesn't, and I got to figure out, and I was surprised when he said, yeah, I still got to figure out what to do with that. I'm like, what? You have to try to figure out what to do with it. He's gambling with people's money. It's amazing. There's no gambling in this system. So to answer your question, I could not make it. It would be a real endeavor to make it open source. And I say, man, instead of trying to write an auto trader and reinvent what I've taken 25 years to create, why not just get a GoBaby? Why not sign up with GoBabyTrade? You're done. It'll save you a whole lifetime. I've been doing this 25 years. That is a lifetime. Crypto Casey, you were like 3 when I started developing this. I mean, you realize that. And I've been doing this the whole time, trying to conquer the market. Who wants to do that? I mean, I don't envy anybody trying to create an auto trader because you don't even know what you don't know. You don't even realize what you don't know. And you're going to spend a lot of money and to try to develop it and so much effort, and you're going to have to be a master at the market and a master programmer at the same time. And if you ever even could create an auto trader that cranks out money like this, you're going to be fighting with the whole public anyways, because they're in denial. Everywhere you go, you try to talk to people, and it's hard for them to accept that. So,
Well, everyone in life, everyone in life has their cross to bear, and I guess this was the cross you chose, Ed.
I know I agree, and I chose the hardest thing you could automate. I mean, there was so many other things I could do. When I left Microsoft, people said, so what are you going to do? I'm like, I could do anything I want. I created talking caller ID in the 90s.
Why did you do that? What's your zodiac sign? Are you like a Virgo or a Scorpio or something? Like, why did you decide to do that with all this free time and all this money?
Why did I well,
why did you choose the hard path?
Oh, that's my nature. Especially when somebody says that can't be done. Because I didn't just do it right away. I mean, I talked to a lot of people and everybody said, can't be done, can't be done. And I'm looking at the market going, this number's going up and down. I don't know what you're talking about. What do you mean it can't be done? I'll just do it. But I didn't want to just do it right away the way I wanted to do it. First thing I wanted to do was learn how everybody else was doing it. I wanted to give I wanted to give the public a fair shake. You guys all have your strategies. I said, okay, let's just automate everything you're doing. I'll give you all the tools to automate. The people were amazed. People would call me up on one day and say, hey, will you automate my strategy? And I'm like, okay, what's your strategy? They tell me their strategy. I actually cut the code for them, and they were surprised. They could open up their auto trader, and there's my strategy. Some of the strategies, I put people's names on it. This is the Bob Kinsey's, strategy, It's Bob Kinsey's strategy number 3, and they'd run it. And then we'd run it, and it's like, this is gambling. They're all just gambling. They don't even know what they're changing. Some people were changing stuff, and some of those indicators that I created, I know there's no way people could have known what that indicator does, but they were actually changing the values of that indicator. And I'm like, why would you change an indicator that there's no way you could know what it does? I know you don't know what it does. That's a custom indicator. But people would actually change the numbers. They think it's a joke. It's like giving somebody a screwdriver and saying, "Go open up the hood on your car and just start turning the screw on the carburetor. Just start turning it." It's like, why would you do that? You're going to mess up the fuel to oxygen mixture. You can't mess with that, or messing with the timing and all. It's like they don't realize that every indicator, every setting in this trader is critical. When you make a change, you're actually telling that auto trader to behave differently. And unless you know why you're telling it to do that, I wouldn't do it.
That kind of reminds me of 2 quotes. 1, ignorance is bliss. 2, if you're gonna be stupid, you better be tough. Deal with the outcome.
There you go.
Change that to ignorance in the crypto world. Ignorance is blisters.
Blisters.
Yes. I mean, if you're lucky, it's just a blister. There's been much worse.
Yeah.
So what, I hate to interrupt the 2 of you geniuses, but give me just a second. I think, because I didn't want to promise and have it not happen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
That's Anthony.
Anthony.
Oh, all right.
So hang on a
man.
second. Hopefully you'll be able to hear it.
No, I don't hear it.
Well, closed caption. I don't know how to broadcast the sound.
This is a time when hearing impaired people have an advantage over us
Mm-hmm.
because they can read his lips. This is a video recording, right?
Yes.
Well, his mic had to be on when he recorded it.
No, it's not
because-
that. I know what it is. I've tried this before. It's a setting on Zoom that does not allow the volume to play on certain videos. That it's just a Zoom setting, and that could be fixed next time. But we have the captions playing down below, so hopefully people were able to read that. Anthony, thanks so much again for that. And okay, so just a reminder. The next person or the first person during this Zoom that pulls the trigger on the 3-year license with the link in the chat that was posted by Edward gets $50 of whatever crypto you want sent to you. We'll send it to your wallet. So that's just a reminder. Casey, go ahead.
Yeah, like I said, my questions were kind of boring and technical. So, obviously a lot of this is predicated on your servers. So my next question was, how secure are the servers that handle the product? What's worst case scenario if there was a hack? Are the servers backed up, decentralized? how many traders can the server handle? Have you ever had downtime? All that kind of stuff.
We did have downtime, a few months ago with, I think I was down a half a day, when I messed up doing some updates on some servers, and I didn't realize that Windows was going to reboot the server while I was in the middle of the update. And some of you might remember that one time we were down for that one Monday. And we actually benefited because the market went a lot higher during that time, so you actually held your positions longer. But that kind of downtime is just, it's almost, you're always doing updates to the servers and your improvements to the servers, and so updates are pretty routine. The biggest thing that happens is a power supply goes out on a server. And the more servers you have, I've noticed it as my servers, because now I've got a lot of racks of servers, full racks with a lot of servers. And as we get more clients, I keep adding more servers. I've got 4 new servers right here, right now, that I'm programming that I'm going to bring over to the co-location center probably this weekend and plug them in. And so I'm always adding more servers. And I've got backups of backups. I mean, I got so many backups of everything that if a server crashes, not only did I automate the market, the crypto market, but I also automated the servers so that if a server crashes or goes off, whatever job that server had, whatever its job was, other servers automatically pick up and start doing that task. And I've always written that kind of software. I mean, I was writing software like that, oh God, all the way back in the 80s, before I even went to Microsoft. And, server, programs that like if you had jobs that had to run in a certain sequence, then you'd want a job manager. That's like what I wrote, that runs those jobs and runs the right job at the right time and waits for it to finish before it runs the next job, so that the next job can use the output from this other one, from this other program. If you hand a schedule like that to operations, to physical people, they will run the jobs out of order. I've learned that years ago. And I said, enough is enough, man. I remember when I was working in nuclear engineering for the government, I'm like, stop. So from now on, just run my job manager. That's all you got to run. So that's what I told the operators. Just turn on the job manager and let the job manager run all the jobs. It'll automatically run them in the right order. So when servers crash, and they do, like I said, power supplies go out, video or motherboards go out, a lot of things go wrong. Just like in a house, if you had 1,000 light bulbs, how often are you changing light bulbs? Light bulbs go out, but other light bulbs don't automatically come on next to that light bulb to compensate for that light going out. Maybe it does, I don't know. I'm not an
Well, this brings
electrician.
up another question I had, which, this is a point of failure as well. You're the job manager, you know what you're doing, you can identify all these problems, you've built this. So what happens if you decide to shut it down, or I don't know?
Is it my complexion or what? Do I look like I'm gonna die? No, you don't conquer the market. This is the thing. And I've thought about that too over the years. But if you think about, why do people change jobs? People job hop, and you have to ask why. Sometimes it's because maybe they didn't get along at that other job, but it might also be, in my case, why I changed jobs was because, like, even from within Microsoft, I was always changing jobs, getting advancements and stuff like that. What it is if you get if you've already accomplished everything you want to accomplish, then you change jobs. Okay? So it's the same thing here. I'm always improving the software. I'm always making improvements. So I'm not getting bored. And the public still says this stuff that I'm doing is impossible. I mean, you don't conquer the market and then stop doing it. And that makes no sense. I can't imagine stopping. And it always amazes me that I can always come up with more things to make the software smarter, which is so cool. I mean, and it amazes me that I keep coming up with more stuff, that I could actually keep coming up with more things. And I'm always improving the software. There's so much more in the back end that people don't realize, that the improvements that I keep making within the software to make it smarter and smarter and smarter. Even that simple thing, when you did that video, Casey, when you talked about dollar cost averaging Bitcoin, that facilitated the necessity for me to change the indicator on the select currency screen from allow buys and allow sells to allow adding to decliners and allow adding to advancers. I had to change that. I had to give people the ability to do to either one. The default is just do both. But I gave the people, because I discovered some people didn't want to add to advancers, and some people didn't want to add to decliners when it came to Bitcoin. They're like, I don't want to add more when it's going higher. I just want to accumulate, or I don't want to sell, but I don't want to add more when it's going higher. I want to add more. I discovered I had two classes of people, two different kinds of people pounding me at the same time. One says, I don't want to add to advancers, and others saying, I don't want to add to decliners. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to separate this out and give you guys the choice. The default is add to both.
Yeah, I
So,
did. Whenever I first started DCAing the Bitcoin January of this year, I remember when you made that change, because it was kind of wonky, like the way it was trading versus accumulating Bitcoin. And you did do some things to balance it out, which was good.
yeah. So now we add to win.
Circling back to you're doing all these things and you're obsessed with your little
Oh,
baby.
again, what if I die?
Yes, yeah. I think you were, I don't know if you were avoiding that or if you got too excited about the things that you're working on. All good, but yeah.
No, my son has been programming these auto traders since high school, which is crazy. That's 15 years. And he has a biochem degree. He's really smart. But all the way back when he was in high school, I remember he had a problem with his laptop with Windows. And I said, just format, and I casually kind of threw it out there. I said, just format the hard drive and start over. Who's gonna buy a Dell laptop and then format the hard drive? But he did it. And I was amazed. It surprised me. I'm like, Stephen, you actually, he formatted his hard drive and reinstalled Windows and reinstalled all the other stuff. And I'm like, that is remarkable. So then I remember the first job I gave him, the first task I gave him while he was in high school. I said, let's write a backup system, an elaborate backup system 15 years ago that backs everything up and keeps multiple versions of the backups and all that stuff. So he wrote that. And that was, great for the auto traders. And so then he started programming AI over the years. And he's been doing this now 15 years, and he is a master programmer. I mean, there's nowhere he couldn't work, I swear. I mean, if he walked into Microsoft right now, they would just hire him. I mean, he is that smart. So my question to you is, you better worry about if something happens to Steven.
Wait, so what's the tertiary plan if he's the?
Because he writes a lot of the code too.
Wait,
Right.
are you guys gonna make like an AI version of Ed, Steven? That's like the tertiary forever plan?
No, what we do is, no, we've automated. A lot of it is, think of an operations screen where anything that can go wrong is we're actually going to show people it. I'm going to show you the user version of this that's coming out pretty soon. It's called the health meter or the health. What was I going to call it, Edward?
I think you said health meter, and I said consider trader optimizer.
Yeah, something like that. So, and I'm working on that now. And we're any problem that people have in their trader is going to actually the trader is going to show you the problem. So right now, say you run out of money for an individual coin, and the other coins have funds, but one of your coins it goes down a lot and it exceeds its allocation of funds. You may not notice that, okay? But the health meter is going to send you an email and it's going to show you on the screen. So if you're not looking at your screen, you're going to get an email that tells you you got an issue to solve. And then when it pops up on the screen to show it to you, it's going to give you how to fix it. It's actually going to put a link on a lot of them that says click here to auto fix for the auto trader to automatically just fix the problem. So it makes it super easy. Click that, it'll automatically reallocate the funds so that, so we not only, so that's for the user side of things, but we also have a similar thing on the back end. If anything goes wrong, if data feeds stop, even though another server is going to pick up that job and run the data feeds, that's already built in, but we still need to know about it. I get alerts that tell me that server crashed. And so that I can, when I go there next time, I'll unplug the server, bring it home, beat it up, and plug it back in later. I'm just saying though that the one thing you need to worry about is that Stephen and I don't fly on the same plane. We don't travel together because as long as one of us is okay, then you're all okay. But also remember this, all your positions and everything are still you still own everything. You haven't lost anything. And as long as, and the auto traders should run in perpetuity. I mean, we're only going to make it better.
Is it on auto pay? Do you have it on auto pay?
On what?
The server space, is it on auto pay?
No, I don't know what
Pay for
auto
the-
pay is.
No, I mean pay for the, the space and all the.
Oh,
all the
yeah, we
servers.
have that.
Yeah.
That. I mean, we don't bother. I don't look at bills ever. I mean, we don't, everything, my whole life is on auto pay. That's what I
Plus,
like about the
Ed,
Coinbase Visa card. When I
you
use
got
that, it's like a free card, free money. Every time I use it, it's just like the card that keeps on giving. And I don't have to pay anything because it just takes it right out of my USDC. That's what I love about the Coinbase Visa card.
Casey, the extended answer is he's got 17 kids, and as they grow up, all of them must learn how to manage the house
Hey, you'd
trader.
be surprised. You'd be surprised how smart they are.
Well, you got some smart kids, I know that.
I mean, my daughter is a lawyer and at her law firm, it freaks them out. They tell her you should be a programmer because she knows more about programming than the programmers they keep hiring to come in. And they say stuff like that can't be done. And she's like, what? Let me show you how. She's pretty smart. So yeah, all my kids learned how to program when they were real little. I wasn't gonna, we have a programming house.
Nice. Well, I mean, that covers all the questions I kind of had. I usually have them more questions, but you kind of answered them all very, very efficiently. Cool.
Okay,
So
Ed,
I think you have
you-
like some new stuff to show us, right? That I don't know about. That's what somebody.
Yeah, I'm always improving the software, always enhancing it to make it squeeze out more money. It was more than add to advancers and decliners. It was also built in add to gaps. So if there's a gap, I like this. my smart water bottles because they're real long for props. If you buy it up here and then the coin goes all the way down here and you buy it again, say it gapped down 10%, and you buy it again down here, you've got this no man land in here. So if the price goes in there, if we don't do anything, the price could go between the original price, the first buy, and the 10% lower, and it could get in here and start just waffling up and down, and you're not making any money. What the software does is it actually adds, it's called add to gap. So it fills that gap so that the coin, so remember what I said, we chase the price wherever it goes. And what's also nice about the dollar cost averaging that we do that is different than, like a lot of people think that they could just send $100 a month and buy Bitcoin with it. It's like, yeah, if you did that last month, you'd have been buying Bitcoin at the same price every time. And you don't want to, you want to use your money intelligently at the top so that you reserve money for when things go lower. This actually opens up a lot of discussion about people that want more money invested at the top. They're just, because in their mind, they're thinking, I want to be all in. And because they're thinking it's going to go up, and they're not thinking of what if it goes down. And if you use up all your money up here, or even if you don't use all of it, but if you use a lot of it, more than you need to, then you're going to have a lot less when it goes down. And over the last 3 or 4 months, the market's been on a long, slow down, going lower and lower, while the wealthy are loading up at these lower prices, and so are we. What I always say is you can't own enough crypto. When these coins are dropping, you want to be loading up like crazy. Give me 4 down days in a row and I'm in heaven. Every morning when I wake up and I see those coins down another 5%, I'm like, yes, yes, go lower. And because I'm loading up more at these lower prices, all the auto traders are. Remember, the Trump Family Foundation or Family Trust has $7 billion in it. They're going to turn that 7 billion into 70 billion. So that he didn't accumulate 7 billion overnight. He accumulated it over the last few years. He was buying more. Buying and buying and buying and buying and buying more as it was going lower. So that's what I say. I'm not worried about buying more at lower prices. Actually, the biggest money you're going to make is what you're buying from at the bottom. So you want to, you down is good. You can't, you can't own enough crypto at this point. We're at the stage now where I don't even care about selling anymore. I mean, I like the money it makes while it's wiggling, but to be honest, the biggest money you're going to make is what it's accumulating at the bottom. So I don't want to use it up at the top. And that's a common issue I get in email probably every single day.
Yep.
People say, I want my auto trader using more. And I'm like, no, you don't, because if you put it all in up here, then you have nothing down here, or you have a lot less down here.
Remember that answer. Remember that answer, folks. Those of you that are listening and I've seen several questions typed in the chat about the trader using more money. So what Mr. Barsano is saying now directly addresses your question. You don't want all your money in the
Plan
market.
for the worst case scenario. And what I've been saying for the last few months, and you've heard me say it, is we're going to see blood in the streets before this market takes off. Because the wealthy have been loading up for 4 years and they've been pushing these coins lower and lower, all the way down literally 90% from where they were 4 years ago. And we're in the game. We're still in the game fully. I mean, the auto trader is sitting on all that inventory it bought that it held on the way down. And that's gold, because when the market starts taking off, not only are you going to sell that, but you're also going to be, while it's going up, you're going to have up and down. So while it's going to be trending higher, but it's going to be, but it's still going to have its up and downs. So while it's going up, you're going to sell the inventory you bought while it was going down, but you're also going to be selling inventory that you bought while it was going up, because we're actually, we add to winners and losers. So we never let the price run away from us. You always want to stay, for you developers out there, let me tell you this, you always want to stay wherever the price is. You don't let the price run away from you. And that, whereas if you were to buy a coin and watch it drop 50%, or just you see it going down, and I've had people say, should I stop my auto trader and tell it not to buy more? Well, that's bad, because then it might drop 50%. And what if it, and then you're going to have this big 50% gap from your last buy all the way to where the price is. Then you're missing you're going to miss a lot of action on the up and downs, but you're also going to, when the market takes off, you're going to have to wait for it to go up 50% to get to your last buy. With us, if you leave the auto trader trading, you're never 3% or more than 3% away from being able to sell profits. And when that coin jumps 30%, you're going to have all that inventory you're going to sell off. That's where the wealth comes from. The more you buy at the bottom is where the wealth is. So don't be in a rush to throw all your money in at the top, especially if you see a couple up days in a row and right away you get excited and go, I want to be all in. It's like, no, because we're going to see some good drops before the market takes off.
Yeah, thanks for clarifying that, Ed. Casey, have you pretty much for now completed your questions from Ed?
Yeah, I did have an idea actually the other day. We don't have to talk about it right now, but I think it's pretty simple. So I was thinking, what if we could partition out, let's just say the trade and then
Casey,
the
you're breaking
profits,
up
I
a little
take
bit.
100%
Hold on,
profits and
hold
it's
on.
being saved.
Casey,
What if-
Casey,
Back up 30
back
seconds.
up.
You locked up.
Your video
Okay,
was
can you hear
breaking
me
up.
now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I had this idea recently. Let me know if it's possible or not. We can talk about it later. But imagine if I want the trader to trade and then I decide how much profit it's in. So let's just say it's 100%. So as this is accumulating, what if I could have that separately where all of the saved profits is DCing into Bitcoin and it has nothing to do with the trade? I don't know if that's possible, but I thought that would be kind of cool because I want the trader to trade all the money that it trades, and all the ones that saved, I'd rather just DCA into Bitcoin instead of being all kind of like wrapped up in one.
Okay. Well, yeah, what I plan to do with the profit save bucket, you see that one screen, the profits management, there's nothing on there right now. We just say save 100% of the profits. And then it builds up, right? And we don't say what to do with any of that. Up to now, it's been just manual. You
Yes.
release it. I'm going to add features on there that say what to do with it, that you can tell it what to do with that.
Wow.
Good,
That's
because
awesome.
what I've had is actually, since Bitcoin has been trending down, it's been taking a lot of the money that I have there, and instead of trading it, it's buying Bitcoin and not selling it, which is fine. It's doing exactly what it should do. But I am missing out on the money just working for itself, and then money saved just, dwindling down into the DCA positions into Bitcoin. So
Yeah, that makes
Should
sense
it-
because you have it trading or DCAing, but every time it DCAs down, it's taking out of your capital that would otherwise be allocated to the other coins trading. So
yes.
now I
Well,
totally get it.
Because you're not selling any of the Bitcoin, all it's doing is using up all the resources that you allocated to the Bitcoin.
Right.
I
So
understand.
would
That's what I
this
was
be
kind of
able
thinking.
to
Like, it'd be
just
nice if it said.
So would this be able to just move that to the Bitcoin resource, to the funds?
Yeah, that's what I'd like, because all the profit that, let's just say, the trader's trading and I'm all the saved profits over here. I have to decide what to do with it, but it'd be nice if I decided, hey, I want to DCA into Bitcoin or Solana or XRP, separate from the capital that's trading.
Right. So just tell it where. So what you're asking is be able to have it just add it to the funds available for Bitcoin or XRP.
Yeah, separate it out. Because like I said,
So
like,
let the auto
it's not
trader
selling
continue
Bitcoin,
to
it's
trade.
fine. Yes,
Pardon me?
I think you got it. Go ahead.
What did you say about separated out?
Because like you said, yeah, if it's utilizing capital as Bitcoin's going down and it's not selling, then it's taking away our or the ability to trade. So as all the profit accumulates, instead of me having to decide what to do with it, it'd be nice
You
if it's
tell it
just
ahead of time.
desynced to Bitcoin.
Yep.
Okay, well, maybe that's
Perfect.
possible. I don't know how to do it.
I say we did.
So it DCAs into Bitcoin. So it's just giving the funds to the Bitcoin. You're just saying, give Bitcoin these extra funds to work with.
It'd be nice if the profit saved had a way where I could just tell it to buy Bitcoin at good prices than me having to decide for myself.
Oh, right. So at the good prices, that just means put the funds, let the profits that are saved go into the Bitcoin bucket
Yep.
Yes,
so that it can use that.
absolutely.
All right. You know, other people, I tell them, I'll do that as soon as I make this thing run on a Mac. That used to be my going joke years ago. Because my stuff only ran on PCs. But because it's you, Crypto Casey, I'm going to give you that one.
All right, so guys, we've got a lot of
That's a
questions
good
queued up.
suggestion.
Yeah, it is a good suggestion. Thank you, Casey. And Ed, I'm sure you could pick the phone up anytime and contact Crypto Casey if you want to brainstorm that idea a little bit further out. But for now, we've got a lot of questions waiting in the queue.
Cool.
Can you share your trader, Ed? Because one of the questions that's
sure.
come up, from about 3-4 people is, can you show a trader or results with a much lower amount than the 100,000 that was shown by Edward's example?
Yep.
So
yep. And Ed, let me counsel you. Start stretching. Take your jacket off. We're transitioning to Q&A.
Yeah. So if you could show that one area, the trades, I think it's called something trades. Oh, there's another profit that just came in for you, Ed.
Oh, thank you. This is talk about free money. Well, I know it was interesting. Yeah, let me take my coat off. I love the Q&A session. What we're going to do here is, I remember a few weeks ago you were saying on my other trader, that the $1 million account, you were saying, look at all the profits, total profits taken, it was 940 something thousand. And I said, I didn't take that. And you said, what are you talking about? I said, I didn't take 940,000. And you're talking about, what do you mean? It's right there. And I said, what I took was this, $63.
Right.
$193, $148. These are the amounts I took. They added up to 940,000.
Right.
That's
So
and I always mention a 7-Eleven. It's like if you want to make more money on potato chips running a 7-Eleven, you can't raise the price of potato chips to $50 a bag. Nobody's going to buy it. This is how you do it. You just sell lots of bags. And that's what we do. We don't dictate to the market what we're going to make. The market dictates to us. And that's the difference between what everybody else is trying to do. You see that one there, that 685 that went by? $685, and that's up to the market to decide that, not up to me. How much it wants to give me on every trade. Here's a $49 one.
Yeah, you just keep putting toll booths in place.
Yeah, the toll booths are there, and the AI is there. The AI says the toll booth got hit, but now call the AI and ask it, do you think it's going to go higher? If you do, we'll hold off. And the AI says, hold off, wait, let it go higher. And, so we can take more. And then because we're adding on 3% drops, we're accumulating all these individual lots on 3% gaps. So if a coin jumps 20%, then it can sell 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So it'll sell like 6 of those lots off all at once. Or maybe slowly, but if it jumps 18% or 20%, you got all that inventory to sell. you know, some of you may not have heard me say it, but if you're running a 7-Eleven and you only have one bag of potato chips on your shelf, and a school bus pulls in full of kids, you're only going to sell one bag of potato chips. You have to have inventory. Inventory is good. How do you accumulate inventory? Well, if I go up here, all add to declining positions, added to declining positions, added to declining positions, and AI got involved in that trade. Added to, so you're adding when things are going bad. Your bad is good, down is good. And that's hard for a lot of people to swallow because they think that when the market's going down, that it's bad. Let me tell you, that's when the rich get richer. The whales, the wealthy, are loading up. When millions of amateur people are dumping their coins at these low prices, the whales are sucking up those shares. They're all battling it out with each other to buy those shares. And our auto trader is beautiful because that's what it's doing. It's just loading up. I mean, look at 8:17 in the morning or 12:53 a.m. What time is that? Is that noon or is that midnight?
That's noon. Bought it at noon.
All right.
No. Bought it
So
at almost 1 o'clock
and
in the
then
morning.
at 8:07 at night it started really crashing. So then it bought more at 8:07, 10:06, 10:19, and then 12:32. That's midnight, and then 12:20. I don't understand how that works. Oh, that's the
Yeah,
next day.
right.
So 12, all right. So at 12:32
The
yesterday, it
afternoon.
bought, and then at 12:28 a.m., which is this morning, it bought more, and then at 3:34 p.m. Eastern, is that what time it is now? I guess. You know, it just started selling. But I'm in no
Yep.
rush for even for 1 penny, this auto trader will not give in. They cannot fake out the auto trader. There's nothing they can do.
And not
Wherever
only do
they
you
want
have
to move
not only do
coins,
you have toll booths that chase cars, but then when it gets to the toll booth that the AI says charge them more, it charges them whatever the AI says to
yeah,
charge them. Well, you've given us a new T-shirt. Yeah, we have the down is good, but I just heard you say not only down is good, bad is good. So there's another T-shirt. Bad is
yeah.
good.
Well, what people perceive as bad, you know, they don't realize, you know, it's good.
So Ed, do me a favor because, like I said a few minutes ago, a lot of people had a question about accounts that had lower amounts, like $1,000, 500,
Change your,
1,500.
then I say raise your profit goal to 5%, and that's what I tell people to do. You know,
No, but what I'm
instead of
saying on that trade report, on the trade reports, I want to show people the results people have gotten with lower amounts that they were
Yeah, the
trading.
1 year
oh
report.
oh.
Yeah, just go to your main website and click on trade reports. You know that report.
It's right here.
There it is, folks. Pay attention. Whoever asked that question, please pay
Several people
attention.
did.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
so
doesn't matter.
yeah.
It's look at the percent returns. That's what's important. Because you can't look at dollar values because dollar values are based on how much money you're trading with. I mean, it's not fair to compare $1 million account where he's going to make thousands or hundreds of thousands. If he doubles his money, he makes 100% return. He's made $1 million with $1 million account. But you can't look at the dollar value.
No,
Look at the
this actually
percent returns.
Ed, this actually hits a bunch of questions that were coming in through the chat. They were talking about because I showed $100,000 simulation. You have hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? So people are going, well, hold on a second. Can you show us something that the average person, if they put a lower amount? So
Yeah.
if you
You
would go
see,
back to that,
the problem is we can only really show you our own traders.
right?
That's where I run into an issue because my traders got 900. This is one of my low traders.
Right.
You know,
But when you're talking about starting values, go back to that.
and you want to go back. The problem is you want to go back. Yeah, you want to look at traders that have history, right?
Yeah.
So I can't start an account right now with $1,000 and then show it to you because it won't have any history.
No, but you can, the best we can show is that if you would go back to that one report that shows the activity of high performing traders that
Yeah,
have, that
if you
those are
just leave it
traders that can,
alone, it's gonna
right,
clean up.
right. So you
There's
got,
no question about it.
right, you've got the top account, they started with 3,100, odd number, but 3,178, and they made 477% profit. And then click on the little yellow view details, and you can see what they were trading and by what percentages.
And you see what I said? Raise the profit goal to 5%. If you have a small account, raise it to 5%. Right now, the default is 3% profit goal and 3% adding. But you can change that to 5%.
By the way, folks, this is available to when you click on Crypto Casey's link,
I'll
you
post that
have
again right now.
access to this report and other reports and videos even before you pull the trigger on the trader. So just know that this is not proprietary information. You could go to that website link of Crypto Casey's and it's right there.
This
Yep,
one
I
set
just
the
posted
profit
it
goal
again.
to 10%. And this one only set it to 2%, which is really, crazy, but I guess it worked. It worked for them.
How can you argue with 200% profit?
Yeah. So, all of
Okay,
the
thanks. That's what I wanted you to show because people can see accounts here that started with much lower amounts. There's one for 43.91. There's one for 15. I'm sorry,
1,300,
13.45, 11.98.
Hey, I've had
926, less
people
than
start
1,000.
with, look at this guy here, $654 account, and he made 92% return. The thing is, even though it was only $600 profit, that 92% return is gold. Warren Buffett would go crazy over a system that gives him a 92% a year return. I mean, the big boys would go nuts if they had this. He doesn't know I even exist because he trades, he lives in the billion-dollar world, right? He's not even in our world, I mean, we're nothing to those guys, but systems that give these kind of returns simply don't exist. You can't go to a bank and get 91% return in a year. I mean, this is gold, these kind of returns.
Okay, well, that's enough on this. Let's go to the Q. Let's just go to your trader for 1 second because on the left side, I just want everybody to know Mr. Barsano starts his traders with $200,000 normally. So this account was started February 7th of 2023. It's taken $347,000 of profit
And
in
you can see them right here in the positions. If
Yep,
I scroll up a little, closed positions. If
two and
you
a
add
half
those
years.
up, that adds up to the 347,981. If you add up all these down at the bottom here in your filled orders, every closed position, if you added all those up, that would add up to 347,981.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank
And
you,
now
Ed.
the last few months, the market's been dropping and the auto trader has been accumulating inventory, this negative inventory. These are open positions, and that drags on the profits you've taken. So we're at war basically between us taking profit and the big boys pushing the prices lower. They're pushing the prices lower twofold. One, so they could buy at much lower prices, but also to get the little guy out. How many of you have friends that are telling you, get out, it's not real, you're just going to lose everything? Millions of people are selling at a loss. And the reason they're selling at what's happening is this is a beautiful game that they play with the public, is when they lower the price of the coin, and that's what this is pushing these coins lower. When the price goes lower, your open positions inventory that you're sitting on gets more negative, right? and that drags on the account value. That's why I try to tell people, if I could educate you on one thing in the world, it would be don't look at the account value. It's misleading. I don't care what my account value is. I know that if I just keep taking profits in perpetuity, these coin prices cannot go low enough. They can't go to zero. Otherwise, the company doesn't exist. And every one of these is multi-million-dollar companies, like $380 million. I mean, these are huge companies and even billion-dollar companies. And, you know, when somebody says, I always hear people say that, you know, I see the stuff on the internet, and people will say stuff. They think that they're sounding smart, but they're really not. The stuff they say is like, well, I can't buy anything with a crypto. Well, I contend that you can't buy anything with your Intel stock either. Somebody says, well, if I buy crypto, I haven't bought anything. But what do you think you bought with your Intel stock? Do you really think you own a part of that company? Do you really think if Intel went out of business, they'd give you $1? Because you'd be low man on the totem pole. I mean, seriously.
Also, stocks are debt. That's a completely different animal in financial world, but you know, people are more comfortable. Yes.
And not only that, they're sky high. They're all way overvalued. It's like crazy. Hey man, I was trading Microsoft at $30 a share. Now it's over $500 a share. Forget it. And they don't even move on a percentage basis. They can't keep up. I mean, 5.91%, 5.16%, 4.98%. These are beautiful one-day moves. 3.53. Swift only moved 0.44%. But you know, yesterday, I mean, I think it had its 5% day yesterday. But I mean, they moved. The movement in these coins is phenomenal compared to, you know, like Microsoft will move 1%, you know, and then you have to invest a lot. You can't buy partial lots and all that. Cryptos rock. And like I said, there's two things that happen when the prices go lower. One is the whales get to buy at a much lower price. And two is they push your account value more down. And when they do that, all your friends and family start putting pressure on you, saying, get out, you're going to lose everything. And what happens when all the people start selling, that's the blood in the streets. When people start calling and say, just get me out at any cost because the prices are going lower, they don't realize the biggest money you're going to make. The biggest money you're going to make is, come on, coin market cap, is from, I'll just tell you, is from what you bought at the bottom. This stuff down here, people call me when the market goes down like this, way down, when it starts just tanking like that, and they ask me, should I stop my auto trader from buying more? And I'm like, no. That's where you want to be buying, man. You can't buy enough down there. Load up. Because look, anything you bought down here, you already sold. As a matter of fact, this peak right here, anything below that peak to the left, you sold off profitably already. So it's all gone. Everything you bought here in all this is all gone. You sold it, every bit of it, off profitably. Not one losing trade. How do you like that? Isn't that beautiful? And now they're pushing it down again. They're trying to do the same thing they did there, they're doing here. You know, and you can see it in the last 7 days. Here's the last one day. You know, and again, load up. You can't buy enough.
Ed, we got to get into the Q&A. We got a ton of questions, so I appreciate you covering all this. You don't need to show the highest trade count report now because I'm sure one of the questions is going to lead to that report, so we'll get to that. But Edward, do you want to start taking questions one by one? Maybe we could alternate.
Certainly. I'm going to go from oldest to newest, and if we have addressed it, then we won't address it again. You'll be able to see, you either heard it or you'll see you can access it in the recording. So Mark, I have a Coinbase account. The trading cost seems high. Tell us about Coinbase trading cost. All right. So two things. I'll give you my personal situation. So let me say this. Let me go back up one step. When you connect the trader directly to your Coinbase account, it automatically goes into advanced trading, which the fees are lower. The second thing that happens for me is because there's so much violent volatility, it trades a lot, and you would think that that you're going to pay somebody $1 billion in fees. So I also subscribe for, I think it's $30 a month, to Coinbase One. What that does is the first $10,000 in fees, it gives it back to you. Third point, the trader has already programmed in that it considers what that trading cost or what the trading fee is going to be, and it sets its profit goal. So if you have it set at 3% and say it's 3.2% to cover the fees, it will actually raise that profit goal and not sell it until it covers the maximum return with 3% or higher based on whether the AI gets involved. And it will also consider the fees. So it will go and chase a little bit more money to cover the fees, but you get two pluses. It chases the fees, so it becomes net. What you see in the trader is your net profit. But then you also, Coinbase also, when you make that trade up to the first 10,000 in fees, it gives it back to you. So you made twice. So if you think you made 3%, you may have made 4%.
Couple other things here. The trader trades on Coinbase Advanced. Coinbase Advanced has automatically lower fees. Now, Coinbase One, by having Coinbase One as a subscriber, you will get a rebate of about 25% of those lower fees from Coinbase Advanced. That's number one. The other thing you have to remember, and this is really important for anybody that's a little bit newer in crypto, since day one, listen carefully, folks, since day one, I have never sweated the fees that I've paid. You know why? I'm in a space that's going to make me uber wealthy. Why would I sweat the fee? Don't ever sweat the fees in this digital money revolution. When I was brand new, I remember buying several cryptos, about $200 worth of crypto, and my fees were like 30 to 40 bucks. But I was happy to pay those fees. You know why? I knew I was early, and we're still early. And I knew those cryptos that I was buying were going to go quite a bit higher, and they did. Never sweat the fees in this space, period.
Well, not only that, but like Edward said, the software automatically adds the fee to the profit goal. So if you have a profit goal of 3%, it'll go for 3.25% or 3.5% to cover the fee.
Yeah,
so not only are you covering the fee already in the trading, if you have Coinbase One, if you subscribe to that, they're actually paying you because you already covered the fee in the trading, plus you're also getting this 25% kickback because they don't know you covered the fee already. They don't know what your profit goal was.
Right. And Coinbase One pays you even more money on top of that. I'm getting every fee back, every dollar in fees back. So so it automatically connects to Advance. And then if you choose to, if you have a significant amount of money in your trader, invest another $30 a month, $360 a year, and you're going to get all your money back pretty much in trades, plus the benefit of the trader chasing the trades. So Hector, it's about 2:16, not too long after we started. I would like to see somebody respond to this question from Andy Silvera, I believe was in the chat. Hello, my account has over $1,000 in USDC. It holds almost $800 in crypto and only trades a couple of dollars every day. September makes 1 year using the platform, and I've only made $300 in profit. Why does it not take more profit more often? I don't know whether Andy's still on, but for Hector's benefit, if he's still on, I did address that directly to him. There's a couple of answers, right? We don't know what Andy is trading in, right? We don't know what coins. So I suggested that he send an email to support@GoBabyTrade.com and ask for a review of his account to make sure that, or not to make sure, but to get some feedback on how to optimize that. But here's a more conservative answer. Where else can you make $300 on $1,000 in a year?
Yeah, we'll accept any logical answer. Hey, sorry, I got kicked off the webinar.
Yeah, no worries. So Hector,
I didn't even notice you were gone.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
So for Andy's benefit and Hector's benefit, Andy, do as I suggest, send a note to Ed Barsano's team, and they'll be happy to review your account to make sure that things are optimized, and then also make some suggestions based on the coins that you're trading. But again, worst case scenario, if somebody said to me out of the blue, I didn't know anything about this trader, whisper in my ear, hey, give me $1,000 and I'll make you 30% a year, would you pay attention? Now,
and that's the bottom end. Yeah.
All right. So great question. Thanks for sticking up for the audience, Hector. Andy, we'll be glad to take care of you.
No, we're having an unusual drop in the volatility of the coins over the last, I'd say, three to 4
3 months.
4 months. Yeah, I mean, the volatility has dropped off dramatically because the whales are pushing these coins down as hard as they can. And when you say, how do they do that? All right, if I want to buy $30 million worth, so when you're talking whales, this is the numbers you're talking. They want to buy, a guy wants to buy $30 million worth. All he has to do is take one or 2 million and sell it at a real low price. And that'll just push the price right down there. Because if I can buy it at a real low price, I'm going to buy it. So that's the ideal price. He can flood that level 2 screen with a whole bunch of orders that are really low prices, and that'll push the prices right down there. And then the public takes over, because then the public starts panicking and selling at those ridiculous prices really low. And then now I can buy my $28 million worth at a real low price while the public panics and sells off. I mean, they've been playing us for generations. And I hate to say it, they've been playing us for generations. They completely played us in the 2000 market crash, because how many people were margined and had 50% margin, thinking that, oh, everything is wonderful. When the market dropped 50%, they had to pay back the margin, because the brokerage firm doesn't want to lose their money. They forced you to sell all your stocks off, and then that drove the market into the ground. And that's where we got the beautiful crash. And I call it a beautiful crash because if I would have had my auto trader then, I would have made a fortune instead of losing 60% of my wealth.
Right.
So they can't do that to me ever again, and they can't do it to you ever again if you have an auto trader, because they can push these coins down to the bottom, and we're loading up like crazy. You can see what it does if you look down here. You can see all the buy and sell days as they occur. Just watch. It's like if a 7-Eleven filling the shelves. You sell it, and then you fill the shelves, and then you sell it again, and it just goes. That's why. I mean, I can just sit here and you can see it's all just filling the shelves. If you go to CoinMarketCap, see all these wiggles? That's buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling. So it went all the way down here. You filled the shelf, and then you sold it all off. And it's just repeatedly just buying and selling, buying and selling, buying and selling. Look at this here, beautiful. So it was tanking here, and you load up on the way down, and then it pops. And anything you bought on this down stretch right there was sold off right here. How beautiful is that? And then anything I mean, just really, I mean, it's free money, man. I don't know what to
all day, every day, all by itself. No, you don't pull a muscle having to watch 7 screens all day long. It allows you time free. What does it buy you, right? Money's not everything, but time is. Time for me is more important. What this is allowed to do, forget the fact that we're here trading. What it does it do for me, for my family, is it buys me back my time. That's way more important than money. All by itself, never thought about it.
The best documentation on that is both of your traders, Ed's trader and your trader, during this Zoom, without you doing a thing, without you even knowing it, have made profits already.
Yeah, I mean, you would think it's staged, but I swear it's not staged, right? So Greg has a very interesting question that I've never heard before, but I'll answer it. Greg says, Gregory, I'm sorry. What is the best VPN that can be used to safeguard our GBT platform on our device? So here's my response to that. So, I employ it all the time, right? Fortunately, I'm back on safe ground. I've been doing a lot of off-book travel, so I'm out of the country more than I'm in the country. I use NordVPN to connect everywhere I go. That is just another layer of safety and security. However, inside GoBabyTrade, no worries, because it's based on it's an intranet. It's a closed environment, so no one can penetrate it because it doesn't touch the internet, right? It can't be hacked. The only other vulnerability is your Coinbase or Kraken account. Now, another thing that Ed and his team go above and beyond is when you buy the trader, they help you make sure that you are locking down your Coinbase account by turning on the allow list, which means no one can you can get in and hack. You've got 48 hours. If they try it, you have 48 hours in which to respond to remove somebody from an address where somebody arbitrarily is trying to take your money, right? There are so many fail safes. And then let me just touch on
at the bottom of the menu.
Let me just touch on customer service. There is no better customer service on the planet that watches over you and your money than Ed Barsano and supported GoBabyTrade. And right now I'm gonna post those in there. Now, as a second layer to that, Attilla and I are in the privileged position, with not only presenting the value to Crypto Casey's audience, and Ed chimes in on this all the time, but we are the backup. So if you have a non-technical question, I just posted it. So both of those emails, right? Support at RCT Marketing Systems. For non-technical stuff, if you have any issues or questions, send them to us. We'll get back to you as quickly as possible. If you have any more technical questions, then send it to support at GoBabyTrade. And I think if you look in the chat, and if somebody wants to, as an owner of the trader, if you've had experience with excuse me, with the support, you can chime in of how good or bad it is. You know, if it's bad, then we'll improve. But we've only seen people that go, wow, that's really cool. And it's personalized service. Where do you get an opportunity to pick up the phone, or not pick up the phone, but send an email and have Einstein respond to it? I mean, Mr. Barsano, right?
Well, you can go to the menu and you can see we have Coinbase allow list at the bottom. That'll take you right to your Coinbase allow list page. In case someone's trying to steal your coins, you can go there and look. That should, if anyone doesn't have that turned on, make sure you turn it on.
Right.
Coinbase, by rights, should have turned it on for everyone, but they didn't.
Right, they didn't, which is a shame. So, plus there's frequently asked questions, which is being automated. There's videos. On that.
Well, there it is. You know, you can type in, you can just select that, and like, how do I add funds? You know, it'll come up with pages. How do I add money for my trader? You can just click on more. Whoops, I'm not logged in, so I can't do it from here.
Okay, Edward, let's proceed with the other questions, please.
Yep, not a problem. So we're here to take care of you, right? Crypto Casey went from scam to we're kind of cool. Can I say that, Casey?
Yes, I'd say that's accurate.
Cool. All right. So, when you reach the stage of full trust in the I'm assuming algorithm, how much of your total liquid assets did you put in it? I'm not sure who that's directed to, but
Let Ed answer that.
oh, you did? Okay. Okay.
You want me
No.
to answer it? How much did I put in? I mean, I've got millions in the market. I run multiple auto traders, and I've got total trust in the auto trader, total absolute trust. I have so much faith because I know that the price can't move without paying me. It's the bucket in the well. I mean,
The
there's
toll booth.
nothing they can do to stop me from taking money.
Right.
So I mean, there's no the more you have, the more it makes, you know, and it's like you can look here. I can tell you because I talk to people every day. People are flooding every dollar they can into their auto traders. Now I tell them I'm not an investment advisor, but I do know this software. And people are, I mean, I was talking to somebody just yesterday. He said he's selling his rental property. He said he makes about $1,000 a month with his rental property after they pay the rent, whatever. And that's his profit. He said, but he could sell that building or sell that property for 400,000, he said, and walk away with a net 400,000. Think what he could do with that 400,000 in an auto trader instead of that 1,000
Oh,
a month.
man.
So that's what he's gonna do. Other
Great
people do
analogy.
more stuff.
That's a
Other
Right.
great
people,
analogy.
I mean, other people
So,
are doing, and people are going, you know, going crazy. I mean, I did a video, I mean, out on the internet that says don't mortgage your house because people are mortgaging their houses. They're getting these kind of loans 31% interest, knowing they're going to make more than that with the money that they're borrowing. So some people have lower cost loans, 7%, 10% loans they're getting, you
right.
know, and they're just every dollar you can throw into it. I mean, you like I said, you can't have enough. People, I mean, I've got people with multiple people with over $1 million in each account, and they're running multiple accounts. You know, I mean, talk about making a fortune. I mean, they're just, and again, I've taken all the sport out of the market. I've taken
By the
all the
way,
gambling out of it.
let me just let everybody know when you buy the trader, when you buy the license on the link, well, when you buy, just go to menu and there go to videos, and under videos is one video showing you a tutorial how to go live and connect the API to your Coinbase, and a second video, same thing, connecting to Kraken.
Right.
So if you still have issues after that, just shoot us an email at support@RCT Marketing Systems, and we'll set up a quick Zoom. I did two
Yep.
last week,
And where else can you double your money, man, without even have to look in it and do anything?
I know
But
I mean,
that's the best part.
it is so
there's
counter.
no gimmick here. If somebody thinks there's a gimmick, speak up. That's what I want to hear. Is I want to hear the skeptics. You know, so because we're all waiting to pound on you.
The skeptics, it works itself out. You got Casey. I was skeptical. Attila came to me whenever it was years ago, and said, "Hey, I met this guy Ed Barsano that can just make money in your sleep." I'm like, really?
You know what I do is if I'm out and about and I talk to anybody about it, I don't tell them the site. I don't mention GoBabyTrade. And if they don't ask, then I just walk away after we're done talking. It's like, all right, so you heard me tell you that the market is free money and I automated it. And they go, wow, that sounds really cool. And then the discussion ends. I'm like, all right, well, you should have asked.
You should have asked, right?
Because,
So,
sometimes they'll ask
right.
and
So,
sometimes they won't.
Even whenever I got into crypto, I think, well, I mean, I had used Bitcoin before. I wasn't investing, but whenever it was hit 1,000, I started talking about to my friends, family. Hit 10,000, some people were interested, never pulled the trigger. Hits 20,000, 30, 50, 100. Some people just never do it. And that had nothing to do with trading, but it was like, hey, there's an opportunity, might be interesting. check it out. Nothing.
Right. One guy signed up just yesterday and he told me, he said, Ed, I remember I talked to you a year ago and I didn't sign up. And I said, dude, you just missed a whole year's worth of earnings, man.
Yeah,
What can I say?
simple math, and I'll show an example if we have time. But simple math is, let's say it only averaged $20 a day. What's 20 times 365? $7,300 a year times 3 is $21,900. Does that cover your $3,400 discounted cost?
No, wait a minute. You said 20 a day equals 20 times 365.
Right,
I'm
365.
gonna give you 366 and call it a leap year.
All right. Well, I'm going to take the leap year out. That's $7,300 at $20 on average a day,
Yep.
which doesn't take a whole lot to do as a starting balance. Times the 3-year license is $21,900. Is that less, or I went to public school, so somebody else is going to have to answer this question. Is
Times
that less
3 years.
or is that less or more than $3,400 for the 3 years?
I
Just
know
kidding.
we should raise the price, don't you think, Crypto Casey?
Yes, you should raise the price.
I've been telling you for
No,
years.
that was actually one of my original questions to him because I had made back the money that I paid full price for it very quickly. And I was like, why would she 3 years? Like, I don't get it. And this is a passion project and he wants to help people and I'm totally here for that. But it's legitimate. It's very cheap for what it does, which was why I was skeptical too.
Well,
You're
and
not.
then
Well, it's
somebody,
not as cheap as it could be. I mean, I used to give this auto trader away for free many years ago. When I first released it, I was giving it away free to thousands of people, and they treated it like garbage. I couldn't believe how it was like free garbage because it was free, because they had no skin in the game. They just didn't even care. So I feel like 3,500 is kind of like the sweet spot where you're gonna be, if you're gonna spend 3,500, then you're gonna be serious, and that works for me. That's all I really want, is people to be serious, you know.
But
And I think it's a
we have
joke.
had feedback that people have put $25,000 as a number on the value of what it provides. So I don't think you're going to raise it that much. But
Next question. We got to get to the next question.
So yeah, let me just make a comment. Galia chimed back in when I was talking about customer service. Thank you for the kind words. She says, support has blown me away. Just amazing. Thank you guys for all you do and your dedication. Thank you so much for that comment. So Galia also is asking the question, do you guys think that the crypto market will always be volatile, or will it eventually start going sideways like the stock market? Hopefully it will always be volatile. So let me give you my 2 cents. So we are in the dinosaur, if you're comparing old system, centralized system, stock market, we're in the dinosaur ages of crypto trading. With all the regulation that's just come out, all the things that are happening, banks hated crypto. Anybody that's here has ever tried to take money, their own money, that you're giving the banks for free, that you wanted to send to your Coinbase account? Has that ever happened? Where they go, you get 3 pages of, do you know who it is? Do you trust it? Well, no, it's my money. Send it anywhere you want. My point, without belaboring it too much, is we are so early in this marketplace. We're now to the point where, if you've been watching the news, now banks get to play in crypto. Guess what that means? They thought they missed the train. They get to play in it, which means there's going to be a move into institutional adoption. And then what happens after institutional adoption? And it's not going to be very long before you start getting credit card offers of, hey, you want to do it? You'll earn, instead of 3% cash back, take this card and we'll pay you 3% cash crypto back, right? Just wait. And then what happens? And then I'll move on. Once the institutions figure out how they can make money on it, guess what? Retail adoption happens. Retail adoption happens. You're going to look back in 2 years from now and go, oh my God, why didn't I do that? So there's my little side diatribe.
Right. I have my 2 cents.
Or 2 Bitcoins, right?
The banks can store now, they made a rule, the banks can now store crypto.
Yep.
So think how that's going to hold their reserves up. You know why? Because most people don't trade crypto. They just buy it and hold it. And that's going to be that's going to hold the bank's reserves up. That untouched crypto is going to hold their reserves up. So they're going to be able to loan more of the money out that they have, and their reserves will be covered. So now
Well,
the banks are our friend. They're
right.
not going to be the enemy anymore. They're going to be our friend.
Oh, no. They're still going to be the enemy, but they'll be,
Well,
what do you say? Keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. I mean, Crypto Casey just cut a video about, about how the banks are going to play this game, right? She's the expert here.
I got to watch
I just
that.
have an opinion.
I mean, they realize that they aren't really relevant anymore, and if they need to survive, going to create all these gimmicks to keep people in their system and make you think that you're not qualified or smart enough to understand what's going on, that's all finance anyway. It has been the whole time.
Right. Scam.
You know, when I go to the bank and they say, good morning. They say, good morning, how are you? I say, hey, crypto's up, I'm up.
Yep.
And I still ask them, you know, I see all these offices you have here in the bank, you know, there's the loan office, there's the Merrill Lynch office. I say, where's the crypto office? You know, and so I'm still waiting for them to open a crypto office. And then
Good
you'll
luck.
know that things are really moving. And that's going to happen. That's going to happen soon, I believe. Also, the market, to answer that gentleman's question, the
Young
market's
lady,
been
actually.
oh, a woman? Okay. It was a good question. But the market's been going down and sideways for the last 4 years. We are not in a bull market. I have not seen a bull market. The market's been trending down for 4 years straight. And the whales have been loading up like crazy the whole time. They rode these coins down like Alchemy Pay from 12 cents to 1 cent. They rode it all the way down, and now it's at what, 2.1 cents. You know, so they've been loading up like crazy. They're sitting on billions of dollars of crypto, and then watch when they turn this market and start that upward trend. And it's going to happen. And it's going to be, and I already saw what the market looks like when it happens. Because when I turned on the auto traders for crypto in April of 21, from April to October, that market was going straight up. It was beautiful. I used to have my laptop sitting right next to on my bedstand, on the stand next to my bed. And I would just lift up my laptop lid in the morning to see how many thousands I made while I was sleeping. So I know what an up market's going to look like. It's going to be
Right.
phenomenal. That's why I say you can't own enough crypto. You
Yeah.
can't buy enough crypto. But don't just throw all your money in and buy it up there. Let it accumulate. Let the auto trader buy it at the right prices so that
And
you'll
sell it
stretch your money a lot further. What was that, Edward?
And sell it at a profit.
Right.
Just let it go do what it was made to do.
You'll make 10 times more than a buy and holder will, because you're making money even on when, you know, a buy and holder, where is that coin market cap?
And while you're bringing that
Buy
up,
and
let me
holder, say you bought up here and you're just sitting on it, you missed all this profit, all those wiggles. Think of all the money that you lost there by being a buy and holder. Just dead. Just dead.
yeah, let me
You
make a fine point about the performance, right? It's never seen a bull market. Go back to your trader if you would. You on average on your we've seen multiple traders in a 90% down market, you're returning triple digits on average, maybe not every day, maybe not every year, but 100% in a 90% down market, that defies logic.
Right,
And
but you got to ignore this open positions. This is all fake. And this is the gold. This is what's really gonna watch when I sell all that off profitably.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, next question.
We keep getting more questions. So, what about the purchases that stay under it? Mark, we're just addressing that stay underwater. Then, and if the whole market goes down, could it get to a point where you have no purchasing power? Okay, let me address that. And if I get it wrong, Ed, correct me. So when you start your account, when you put money in, and if you add money and you don't change any of the settings, it creates the toll booths. You will never run out of money if you just let it do what it does. If you start manually trading things, it's going to mess things up and you could run out of money. But your
Well, then you are going to run out of money if you start spending the money, because it's like one person had a $46,000 or a $42,000 account. The auto trader right away bought $2,000 worth of crypto with it, which left 40,000. Well, then that person went and manually bought $40,000 worth of XRP. He got excited, so he went and bought $40,000 worth. Then he used up all the money. So then he had this funds remaining for each. See, this will never go away, because the software is going to manage those profits. And if you go down, this is set to 100% trading window, expected trading window 100%. That means no matter where that coin goes, as long as it stays in business, there will always be money here. If you let the software do the money management. Where things go wrong is when you go in and start buying stuff, on your own, and you start using up the money. It's like if you had $20 to go do something, and you're going to go to the store, and the thing you want to buy costs $20, but then before you get to the store, you stop off and get gas and spend $10. Well, now you don't have $20, so now you don't have the 20 that you thought that you needed. And the software, if you leave it alone, this software is already set. The trading window is telling. Trading window means the software is going to allocate the funds to be able to trade all the way to the bottom. That's a 100% trading window. If you shorten that, if you use up a lot of the money, and say you went to 20 lots, 3 times 20 is a 60% trading window. That means if the coin dropped 60%, at that point you would be out of money, because the software says it's going to allocate the funds to 60%. And that means, so if the price went lower, you would be out of money. Now, there's things we do to help you when that happens. Number one, if it's just a few coins that went down, we can always hit spread funds equally here, and borrow money from some of the other coins to use there. The other thing you can do is you can go to your profits saved, if you're saving your profits. Now, some people aren't. Right now, this says I have it set to 0 right now. I just want to use all the profits. I've got enough profits sitting there right now. I don't need to save more. But I've got $100,000 here that I could release to the market at any time, and that would give each one of these $20,000 more to work with. So there's a lot of stuff built in that's going to help you take it to the end, or be able to take it to the bottom. So,
and those are all default settings. When somebody buys,
you're completely protected. That's the beauty of it, is the software's got you already. It's all about protection is number one. And then number two is let's make some money.
All right.
And number three is also preparing you when you're feeling the worst, when this market's crashing like here, like in this, or even in here over the last month, when things like that are happening, your auto trader's busy preparing you for the best. It's actually doing its job. So sometimes somebody will feel like you're losing because because your account value is going down, because the price is going down, you're building negative inventory. That's all. This negative inventory is gold. I mean, that's pure gold. That's something that 99% of society does not have. Because anybody that's in crypto, more than likely, all they're doing is buying at the top. And when the coins drop, they're dead. They're just saying, this is garbage. I don't get it. I'm losing all my money. And they don't realize the auto trader is doing a miraculous job of preparing you for that run. I mean, do you think Trump sitting on $2 billion or $7 billion in his family trust? They're underwater, believe me. He has been buying those coins while they were up here, and he's been loading up, loading up, loading up, loading up, even though it's going lower and lower. He's underwater. He's losing money big time. However, he knows he's the puppet master. He knows he's got 25 minions out there, multi-millionaires. If you watch the crypto summit at the White House, he's got 25 people that he's unleashed onto the regulation world. And he said, remove all the regulations that are holding these cryptos back. And one of the biggest things they're doing is they're becoming friendly with the banks. They're making rules that are going to be friendly, bank friendly, and that's going to help blow this thing up. This crypto market, and also these coins. If I look at this $1 billion report, that's a utility coin. That's a utility. Utility means real company with real product and real earnings. These aren't junk coins. These are real coins, real companies, no different than Intel or Microsoft or Qualcomm. Each one of these companies is real. And they are, I mean, you can click on the symbol and it'll take you right to their website and show you what they do, the business
Okay.
they're in.
Ed, thank you. We got to
Does
move on.
everybody want a bonus? You have access. Well, this is the $1 billion report that we were talking about that shows the opportunity of the coins, but it's only good if you own the trader. However, before you buy, what do you say? Do your own research, Attilla?
Yeah, DYOR. Do your own research always. Yeah.
Right. If you click on Casey's link, then you have the ability to access that front page and the landing page for GoBabyTrade, and you can click on any of these reports that are across the top. You have access to this. You can't really take full advantage of it unless you put it in the trader and let the trader do the work. But there are so many hidden gems that are built in this trader. By the way, when you make that investment, should you choose to, all of the enhancements you were talking about, even the idea of that Casey brought up, all of those are done by Ed's team in the background, and you don't get another invoice. It's not, they don't take a part of your profits. They don't charge you more when you're taking when they're making enhancements. That's all gravy. That's all more free money. So,
and there's the link right there for Crypto Casey's GoBabyTrade.com/Crypto Casey.
Yep. I just put it in the multiple times in the right.
Click buy now, and it lowers the price. You can see the regular price is $44.99. It lowered the price to $34.99.
Right. So, all right, Ted, here's one for you, Ed. Ted asks, what platforms does a GoBabyTrade stock trader work on? Just TD Ameritrade or Schwab? No,
just TradeStation. The stock trader only works with one broker, TradeStation.
Okay. Next question. Thank you, Ted.
Yolanda, what percentage? This is a personal question. I can't answer, Casey. Yolanda's asking, what percentage gain have you made so far? You don't have to answer that question. That's not.
I don't even know. When people ask me what percentages, that's just, who's looking at that? Who cares?
Yeah, she was asking.
I'm taking profits every day. If I'm walking down the street finding money on the ground, I'm not going to start calculating my returns, what percent returns I'm getting. I'm taking everything the market's willing to give me.
Right. That was actually directed towards.
Hold on a second. Let me just say, everybody's trader is different based on, the percentages are different based on market conditions, which coins you own, when you started, how many coins you have. The only barometer of return that everybody on this Zoom should be looking at when they own the trader is in the light blue on the left side, right there, where it says total profits taken. That's my bottom line. At the end of the year,
So
if you had a
this,
bank account and you did a CD, okay, and at the end of the year on $10,000, you made $20, because that's about right. Okay, are you going to say, oh, on which day did it take 2 cents? On which day did it take 1 cent? No, you want to know at the end of 1 year, what did you make?
yeah.
Okay, here,
Somebody had that question.
total profit saved.
And I'll say
Right.
for me, the first probably year that I had it, I like was pretty dynamic with trying different things out, switching things out, and then I started the DCA Bitcoin at the beginning of this year. So it's kind of hard to like say what a percentage. Like I think my cost basis for all the Bitcoin I've been buying for this year since the DCA is like 86,000, which is pretty good considering that it's well above 110 right now. As far as the other stuff that I did, I mean, during March of whenever the market was popping off, a lot of money, whenever it was sideways, still made money, not that much. It's very varied. My experience has been over the past 2 years. But like I said, I have been experimenting with it from the point of view of, hey, trying to learn about it, make videos, like
Hmm.
trying to figure stuff out and then us brainstorming, making things better. So my thing isn't as fair as like, hey, threw money and pick some stuff and let it run. No, I've been messing around with it.
But you're still making a decent profit.
Yes. I made more money in the bear market with it than me buying, and then some of the stuff I have is still like 80% down waiting for, the bull cycle to pop off.
Right. Right. Okay.
Right. The
Good.
problem with this, if you bought it manually at the top and it's down 80%, you got that huge no man's land. Think of the millions of people that bought in, like Alchemy pays the one I can always remember because I know I started buying it at 12 cents. And it went all the way down to 1 cent. Then it jumped to 6 cents, and I took all that profit. It was so beautiful. And then it went back down to 2 cents again, where it's at now. But I still own the inventory that I started buying at 12 cents. And so you can't really measure it. All I can say is go to the top trade report on the website, top traders, and you can see what it does. And even the sample trader on the website, you can go and look at that. So if we're on the website, go to the sample trader. And the name of the game is keep taking profits. Just keep taking profits. I mean, you can't, if I go down here, I'm waiting for this. Come on, filled orders. This is all that matters is that, I mean, I didn't even look at this trader, This is a live trader, by the way. And here it's taken all these profits today, 153, 159, 350, 173. It's like, thanks for the free money. I mean, again, it's no different. If you question the validity of this software, then you're questioning the way commerce has been done for a million years or for thousands of years. That's how commerce works. You put product on the shelf and you sell it at a higher price. If you're questioning a 7-Eleven, you're actually debating how regular commerce works. Any of you that are in business, if you're selling something, I got a guy that right behind me in his house, he sells bicycles. I mean, he builds bicycles and sells them. And I see him out there test riding the bikes all the time, and I'm sure that he buys the material to build the bike at one price and he sells it at a higher price. We're not doing anything other than that. And a 7-Eleven is the same way. That's why I was showing you. See all these blanks here where there's no price? That means that those were buys. And then you got the selling. And if you just scroll back from the beginning and just scroll, you can see you buy and sell, buy and sell. If this is a 7-Eleven, they stock the shelves at night. If it's a Trader Joe's or a Whole Foods, they have thousands of customers coming through that store every day. They're filling the shelves in the middle of the day. to keep those shelves full. One of the things I look at when I walk into a 7-Eleven or any store, a Walmart or Whole Foods, anything, my eye immediately goes to the shelves and looks for empty shelves. And I can spot an empty shelf a mile away. You know, if there's a big hole in the middle of all these shelves, all these groceries, there's an empty shelf. There should never be an empty shelf. 1,000 people walk past an empty shelf, you're selling nothing. We never have an empty shelf. That's the beauty of the auto trader. We got the market trapped. We got that price trapped wherever it goes. We're always taking profits. We always have inventory to sell. And
So
that's the
let me
name.
let me make this comment. I talked a little bit about what this means and what it did for me, right? This entire presentation is showing you a logic that is counter to what you've been taught. What have you been taught? To get here, go to school, get a job, and trade time for money. You only have 24 hours a day if you don't sleep and eat to trade. This doesn't require any time and very little money. Just as Anthony, I think somebody just typed in, hit the reset button. Unlearn what you've been taught, which is, I'll say it again, go to school, get a job, trade time for money to make somebody else wealthy. This changes that dynamic 100%. This is my job.
This puts us in the driver's seat.
And it does not require me to trade time for money. This is my full-time life. And I'll speak for Attilla. It's his full-time life. You know what's made that possible? This trader. So believe it or not.
I thought you were going to say me. I thought you were going to say I made it possible.
Well, listen, I gush all over you all the time. You have created something that does not exist anywhere else in the universe that literally creates the opportunity to stop trading time for money. So there you go. There's your just due, Mr. Barsano. All right. So
and Crypto Casey sharing it. You know,
well,
every Wednesday, I thank you, Crypto Casey. I thank you for letting us speak to your audiences and not kicking us out.
Let me gush all over Casey for a minute, right? Casey learned along the way, and when she started learning, she said, I wonder if other people would see value in this. She's made it so easy for you. Go back to the first video she created and binge watch. I mean, don't watch, you know, what are some of the crazy shows? Don't watch Netflix. Watch Casey, because Casey is what got us all to this point to where there is an opportunity. And we love you, Casey. And look, we hand selected. We hand selected Crypto Casey, and she didn't even like us at the beginning. Now she kind of likes it, right? But she provides so much value, and all we're doing is amplifying that value. This is billions of dollars in value. I don't know why people. I'm getting like you, and I don't get why people don't see it. But that's it's unlearning.
That's what we talk about.
Yeah.
We don't hardly even talk about the product. We talk about the philosophy of the product, of why the product works. If you understand that, if you understand that it's just money for life, then you already know you got to have it, and you know it's going to work forever. These coins don't go out of business. I used to say that. I used to ask people in front of audiences. I would say, "Do any of you guys think Bank of America is going to go out of business anytime soon?" And 300 people, nobody says yes. And I'm like, then trade the heck out of it, man. It's free money.
You actually hit on.
I used to say it's $10 a share. It's a joke. All it's doing is going up and down.
You actually hit on Luann asked the question, what can we do if the coin goes away and cannot be traded?
Well, that happens once in a while. Coinbase might discontinue a symbol, then you sell the symbol and just get out of it, or you can move it to, maybe Kraken still has it. But if you're talking about if the company just went out of business, well, then be thankful you took all the profits that you did, all the closed P&L. make sure, you know, the longer you're trading it, the more money it's going to make, because it's just going to keep pumping money forever.
Right.
And that's why
But
we trade these coins at the top. I don't see them going away. Swift and SPA, these two, number 1 and 2, have been battling it out for the 1 and 2 spot for the last three or 4 months.
Let me
They go
also
back and forth,
say
battling it out.
one more thing, Ed, I want to add to that is that these exchanges, Coinbase and Kraken and all the others, their reputation is at stake. So they do a ton of due diligence before they decide to list the coin. So has it happened before? Yes, on a few occasions, but it's highly unlikely that
It's
something
rare.
that they list is going to go totally out of business. Maybe they choose to unlist it because it's not performing as well as they would want it to perform in order for them to carry it. But as far as a company going out of business,
No. Well,
that's
it's
few
no
and far
different.
between.
You have the same risk in the stock market, for that matter.
Yeah,
You know, Enron went out of business, right? Lehman Brothers went out of business.
right.
Um, you know, if you have Coinbase, I put Coinbase and sort it by symbol name and expand, it actually shows us all the coins that you can trade in Coinbase. And there's like 350 coins. So, and you know, out of 10,000 coins, that's not bad. They give you the cream of the crop. You know, I'm not worried. I would never not trade these coins because I'm afraid they're going to go out of business any more than I would be afraid Intel's going to go out of business. The only difference is you're buying these at the prices we're paying are ridiculous. I mean, this is where the insult to humanity comes in. This should be a $20 coin. It's going for 2 cents.
Yeah.
I mean, all these coins, Doge, the graph, I mean, they get 2 billion hits a day on their APIs. They're going for 9 cents. 3 months ago, they were at 33 cents. Why do you think they went down so hard? So the wealthy could load up at the bottom. So nobody's going to scare me out of this market, man. There's nothing they can do to influence me. Plus, I get to
remember,
take profits almost every day of my life on top of it.
yep.
So it's
Remember
like,
what I said about how early we are in the dinosaur age of the space. Watch what happens when full retail gets involved in all of a sudden. As a matter of fact, I think I shared it with my friends here that last Sunday, if you ever watch Sunday morning CBS with Jane Pauley, they actually had a story about crypto. So that tells you they're starting to communicate out to the retail or the public. When that happens,
oh, I remember when they put Bitcoin on TV, you know, and they start showing it every day, how it's doing. You can watch that along with the Dow and the Nasdaq and
on
Bitcoin.
CNBC. Yep. All right, back to the questions. Kevin, do you need separate accounts for your regular hold account with the same exchange? Is this an account? Okay, let me answer this before we go to the next one. So, um, if you have a Coinbase account, you can create separate portfolios. For example, if you wanted to hold Bitcoin and you didn't want the trader to trade it, and you've got Bitcoin in Coinbase, you can put that in a separate portfolio, right? If you have Coinbase Advanced, which you do if you have the trader, then you open up a different portfolio. If you put Bitcoin in one portfolio and you put all of your other coins to trade in a different portfolio, that Bitcoin account or portfolio is invisible and it won't trade it. So no, you don't need separate accounts. You can do it all in one. I don't know how many portfolios you can create, but I think it's
But
probably
if you
unlimited.
have but if you have other coins other than these coins, you can leave them right in the default account. The auto trader's only looking at the coins you put in.
True. Okay. Second part of the question. Is this an accounting nightmare for tax reporting? Could be. So a couple of different
Let me
answers, and
answer that.
I'll touch on one. That is, if you talked about if you had Coinbase Coinbase One spits out an annual report of all of your trading. So the other is find yourself a good CPA that really knows their stuff in crypto, which Crypto Casey, if you watch her, she uses Lorenzo CPA LLC. So you maybe put that Lorenzo Tax. And they have software that will automatically connect and track all of that stuff. So
look
it
at
could
this
be a
right
nightmare
here.
if you don't have the right tools.
If you have Coinbase One, right here it shows they have pre-filled tax forms. They actually fill that out for you. All you got to do is submit it with your taxes. Done. Job done.
Right. So, Kevin, the third part of Kevin's question, this is going to be an opinion, not advice. Question is, how much money do you have to have in your account to really make a difference and make it worthwhile?
That's up to your life.
Right. So I don't think we're going to have time to do it today, but I have an example where the example is in theory, you start with 5,000, and over a period, if you really look at the value of this over the period, I do a 3, 6, and 9 year model because the license is in 3, 6, and 9 years. But $5,000 doubled and it's based on what the assumption is, or not the assumption, but the facts of what has happened since the trader was released in April of 2021. On average, over that period of time, it may not be in compressed periods of time, but over that time period, Mr. Barsano started his first account with 200,000. It's taken almost $1 million in profit. So that's 5x. Go back down to the $5,000 example. Over a 9 year period, if it repeated what Mr. Barsano has done over the past 4 years, and let me say it again, a 90% down market, that $5,000 could grow over 2 million. But just as an example. So ROI, Kevin, your last piece is we've shown you ROI of accounts that obviously not disclosing who the owners of the accounts are, but starting with $3,178 and an ROI of 477%. I mean, all the way down to number 6. They started with 3,700, 184% later. I mean, those are pretty good numbers. So next question. Logan, Casey, I guess this is Casey. Would you be willing to tell us a percentage gain that came up already? And how long did it take you to get up to speed, so to speak? It seems it is kind of like a train. It takes a while to hit its peak. Well, if you look at it as a life trader, it's going to start collecting inventory straight away. The market's at the bottom. You can't get much cheaper. I'm not answering for you, Casey, but I think if you get on the train, you're definitely not going to get passed by.
Well, yeah, sure. I got on the train. Like I said, I've messed around with a lot of stuff, like from 100% profit taking to 0, letting it trade during that kind of time was interesting, because if all the profits are going back into inventory while all of these, and I still have really small obscure coins that are not performing that well. If it's only holding and everything's going down, it's still collecting inventory. But if you're not taking profits, then obviously I mean, it's actually pretty complicated if you mess around with it like I did. So that's why it's not I don't have a clear cut answer for how much money I've made from it. Yes, I've made money. I've made way more money than the $4,000 that I bought it for. And I put in I started with smaller amounts, have a lot of, pretty much I keep the cash flow that I burn to run my business in my life separate, everything else liquid there. And then otherwise I buy Bitcoin. And then I have other business stuff, but it's been the best return on just leaving cash somewhere. And I don't really mess around with it so much. And sorry, there's like some construction stuff, so I don't know if you hear that, but.
Right. Nope. Nobody can hear it.
Casey,
Excellent. Okay.
Casey, there's another question that came in. Let me, since you're speaking, let me just parlay this to you. This is from Gregory. I'm in a jurisdiction where our banks don't allow remittance to any crypto exchange, including Coinbase. And I have a crypto account in another jurisdiction. Crypto Casey, how do I get funds to my Coinbase account, and how do I get my profit in GoBabyTrade sent via Coinbase to my bank account in my jurisdiction?
So are you allowed to have an account in Coinbase? Is he allowed to have a Coinbase account?
Yes, he has an account with Coinbase apparently in another jurisdiction. So I'm not sure if that's another state or another country or what. I know that the last part of the question I could answer real quick, and that's the fact that if you do trade through Coinbase, just keep everything in USDC, and you're not going to need to send it back to your bank. There's so many options to take that USDC and put it on various debit cards, and you could spend it like you would spend Visa or MasterCard anywhere. There's nothing that says you have to turn it back into fiat money. That's an option, but why would you want to? That's the whole point of being in the blockchain crypto space. So you have
Well, I
many
mean,
more
sometimes
options.
people need to use banks to
I
run.
understand. I understand.
But,
But
mean,
we
there's
have clients all over the world, and as long as they can open up a Coinbase account,
Or a
then
Kraken account,
they can use it.
or a Kraken account.
Yeah,
Yep.
Right.
Greg, if you want to just talk on that, I've spoken to so many people that have had Coinbase problems. I'll be happy to help you out on that. Just send it to support at rctmarketingsystems.com. That's
I'll put that in the chat
it's in
again.
the chat. Yeah, put it in again if you wouldn't mind, Edward, and then
Yep, I'll put both of them in and then move to the next question. Let's see.
yep.
Right, there you go. Bimpei, I hope I'm pronouncing that. With all due respect, I don't want to butcher your name. Are you able to expand on the types of coins to pick for trading established coins with low volatility versus the newer ones with higher volatility? And this is an older from when he or she posted the question. So yes, here it is. This is the $1 billion report. That's the easiest way to highlight the opportunity of what coin moves, but not moves, but profitably trades, right? Yeah, as an example, the what was that number, 1,047 on the number one, right? So let's just take that. Let's just say you had $1,000, excuse me, and you traded only that one coin, which lower amounts, 1,000, 3,000, one or two coins is sufficient. Use this report. So 1,047, and if it only made a 3% profit on all of them, remember, if the AI kicks in, it'll take a higher profit. But let's just say it just at the 3%. Last year in that coin, you would have made 3,141% on your money. So 1,000 would be $3,100. No, I'm sorry, $4,100 because that would have been the profit. So,
well, the example I like to give is a 7-Eleven. If I'm opening up a 7-Eleven, and I've never done it, but I imagine you would sit down with a list of all the products you can sell in your 7-Eleven. I'm going to sell the stuff at the top. I want to make sure I have the monster drinks, the potato chips, the candy bars, the cupcakes, all the stuff, or the vodka, if you will. Some people buy that. The stuff that people buy versus the stuff at the bottom, the iodine, the Band-Aids, stuff that people don't buy. I don't want this stuff in my store, or if I'm forced to have to carry it, I'm not going to carry too much of it. It's the same thing. You want to put product in there that turns inventory. We're not here to play. We're here to make money. I don't care if I don't drink Monster drinks personally, but if I open up a 7-Eleven, I'm going to fill up a whole cabinet or a refrigerator full of Monster drinks because people are buying them. So this is a test for everyone listening. When next time you're in a 7-Eleven or you go to a gas station and go into a store, just stand there for a few minutes and just observe what people are buying. You'll learn a lot. Also, when you go into other stores, bigger stores, spot those empty shelves. Spot and look at the workers. What are the workers doing? Are they bringing more product out from the back to fill the shelves? And again, the auto trader does all that automatically.
right.
Yep.
That's the beauty.
Here's one from Russ Garner. He's on every week with his wife. I had $6,000 of my current profit saved and I let it go back into the trader, but I don't see where it went. Did it get added back into the coins funding? Ed?
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
Oh, sure. I had 6,000 in my current profits saved and I let it go back into the trader, but I don't see where it went to. Did it get added back into the coins funding?
Yes, it
Yeah,
would have automatically gone back to the coins. It would have gone into these coins here. It would have increased these numbers here, the funds remaining.
perfect. Thank you. Okay, Edward, next question.
Okay, Patrick, is there any chance, this is Ed, is there any chance Ed will integrate the $1 billion report to automatically select or recommend better performing currencies?
Well, that might be an option. Yeah, I've thought about that, but you know what? I don't really want, if I've got minus 46,000 of open inventory on that coin, I don't want to get rid of it because there's a lot of value in open inventory. These lots here, this says 17 lots of open inventory, 17 lots, 32 lots of open inventory. That's gold to an auto trader. I mean, that's even more important than volatility to have that much inventory. I mean, because when those coins move, and they're gonna move, because we're gonna go back to where we were a few years ago. It's not the end of the crypto world. See, and that's what people are envisioning. And that's where the mistake comes in. This is where wealth gets missed, is thinking that it's the end of the crypto world. I mean, if you thought it was the end of Microsoft when they were at $30 a share, now they're at over $500 a share. I mean, don't think it's the end. This is the beginning. We are like trading Gillette for 2 cents in the 1940s. We are at the beginning. This is where real wealth is made now. The opportunity that's before us is just unfathomable. It's like nothing none of us have ever seen before. And I'm not a salesman or anything. I'm just telling you, you missed this one, you've missed the big one. I don't think there's going to be another one in our lifetime
Yep, agreed.
because they have
So,
parlayed, the whales, the wealthy have parlayed this thing. They've played this thing for 4 years. They've positioned this thing for great wealth. They've positioned it for 4 years for great wealth. This is going to be the biggest payout in the history of our generation, of our lifetime. And,
for
and
sure.
and in the meantime, while you're waiting for that to happen, you're still taking profits almost every day, anyways. So
Pick
you're
up your
still,
$20 bill a day for the
yeah,
next
you're
year.
still getting your great returns. In the meantime, you're building inventory that's going to give you great wealth. I mean, this is the best of all worlds.
Yeah, my question is, where do you have an opportunity such as this, even just to park money? It's certainly not in your mattress, certainly not in the
Well, a
bank.
lot of people are doing it. That's the beauty. And I talk to so many people, and they're just everybody is parking their money in here. They're going crazy trying to find money to park to put in because they know the
Right.
more money it has, the more money it's going to make.
Right. All right.
Yep.
We can see the light at the end of the tunnel, and it is not attached to a train. So bear with me. Russell, apologies. When your trader only pays a few bucks at a time and you have 30,000 in your trader to trade with, shouldn't the payoff be much bigger with the top level coins like ACH, Bonk, or GRT?
So if they're moving, yes. If they're moving, but it's up to the market. I mean,
Mhm.
on January, I mean, is this the one where
January 27th.
well, I mean, it's all up to the market. Yeah, if I go to January 27th, I mean, you can see
All around that, yeah, January 27th to the 30th, if you're showing the ACH model or
well, yeah.
the
I mean,
stance.
look what happened, on ACH on January 27th. It went like January 26th. It went from 2.2 cents, look at 2.1 cents, which is where it's at right now, amazingly, the same price, just about. It ran all the way to 5.6 cents in 4 days. Look at all these closes. So it's gonna, you know, when the time is right, when the coin's ready to make its move, it'll make its move. And then you'll clean up like nobody's business. It's just, and the beauty is we were opening positions. Look at this, right in the middle of while it was going up, the auto trader was buying more and then selling it at a
Yeah.
higher price while it was going up.
Okay.
So
Well,
we're doing more than just selling open inventory. We're actually adding to the inventory and then selling it off.
Yep.
So don't.
that's a fair question, and it's a very good, well illustrated response by showing
Yep.
that, Ed.
And
Thanks.
the thing is, we're doing all this without gambling. That's the beauty of that add that to this, to if you're making decisions, there's no gambling in this. I'm not forecasting anything. I'm not predicting that a coin is going to go higher or lower any day. I'm taking everything. I've got that price trapped anywhere it goes, and I'm taking everything that market's willing to give up. So nobody
Yep.
can make more money than that without gambling.
Yep.
You can
Right.
go to Vegas, put all your money on 00 and spin that wheel. That's gambling.
Yep.
We're not doing that.
Okay.
I've got to stand by just a minute. So Carol, and I'm not sure what link you're referring to, but I need somebody. I'm calling on the audience. I'm hoping it's not the crypto Casey link. I'm going to put it in there again. Somebody please click on that link because Carol
No, I
commented.
did already. I did already. I'm communicating with Carol on the
Oh,
side.
very good. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
for
Good.
some reason she's having issues and I can't figure it out.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Yep. You might want to, depending on the browser you're using, you may want to try several different browsers. Use Microsoft Edge, um, uh, um, Google. Try it until it works. Sometimes there's restrictions on the browser that you're using. So, Kathy, Ed, can you please share your default settings on this trader?
Here they are. 3%, 2 lots max in a day. AI is turned on. 60-minute pauses between buys. $500 lock in the profit. If you see 500, just take it. 3% profit goal. No pullback. You don't need pullback because if the AI doesn't say it's going to go higher, I don't need to wait for it to pull back. This number here, each of these won't really matter which one you have it on. Don't worry about those. Add shares on 3% drops and then 40 lots max. Now 40 lots max is because I've already hit 32 on this, so I raised it. But the default is 25 lots.
Right.
So
So the only thing you've changed are two default settings. You changed 100 to 500 because you have so much in your trading account, and you changed your number of lots. That's
from
it.
25 to 40.
Everything else is default. My 2 cents, my advice, if you choose to buy the trader, don't change anything. Just let it go.
Right.
There's no need to. It's been optimized over 25 years to pull every penny the market's going to possibly give you. That's it. All right. So, Lisa, this may have been answered already. So to be clear, the bot is trading for me, but on my own platform like Coinbase. Yes, the only thing that your trading platform does and has the authority to do is connect via API to either your Coinbase or Kraken. And the only other authority it has is to send buy and sell orders. That's it. Everything happened, and it happens on your exchange platform and is totally secure if you secure it, as we talked about.
People do ask, where is this profits here, the current profits saved? I'll tell you, it's in your Coinbase account. It's either in your Coinbase or your Kraken account. If I go to exchange preferences here, I can scroll down and see it's in my USD because I'm trading in USD. If you're trading in USDC, then this would be checked and all your money would be there. And that's where it would be putting it. So it's part of your account value already. It's in your USD. This is just a number telling the auto trader don't use that amount. So subtract it when you're trading. So it tells the auto trader not to use that money. It says
Okay.
profits, it's subtracting the profits saved from your account from the cash so that it won't use it.
So it's invisible. Okay.
Right.
Sam, can you put GoBabyTrade in Kraken into a Roth or IRA?
Yes. Look at Rocket Crypto, I think it's called, with Kraken.
Okay. All right. You're gonna find that link. You can post it in the chat if you find it. Okay, Greg, whilst the coins selected are running in GoBabyTrade, can a manual action on Coinbase action on this same coin override the settings in GBT?
Well, I mean, it's going to happen. The minute you do a trade, it's going to happen. It's going to do it. So you're not really the auto traders, when the auto trader sees profit, it's going to take it.
Okay. All right. We are down to
Called
our last.
Rocket Dollar. Here it is, Rocket Dollar.
Okay. Can you post that link in the chat?
Sure.
That's actually really good information. Okay, while he's doing that, Dan has a question. We're down to the last question. We're going to be at 3 hours and 15 minutes. All good. Oh, thank you. All good questions, all good interaction, and I will flash up, just because I said I would, the quick $5,000 example and what it could, if you consider this a good choice for you and your family, and you're willing to look at it as a long-term strategy. So Dan says, I have Doge coin already in my Kraken account before I purchased GoBabyTrade Auto Trader. Recently, GoBabyTrade AT pulled my Doge into GoBabyTrade without my consent.
Well, you gave it consent. If you put it in here, if you listed it in here as your symbol, then you gave it consent.
Okay.
Because it's going to trade that coin, whatever you have in it already, whether the auto trader bought it or not, it's going to trade it.
Okay. All right. We are at the end of the Q&A. Attilla, does it make sense to just show the example quickly so people can understand what the long-term effect is?
Well, the problem is there's no way to show that quickly. So we've gone 3 hours and 15 minutes. I say we skip it for today.
Okay.
Sure.
You know, I think we've given people enough. We've lost some people along the way, and we really appreciate everybody's patience staying with. The majority of the people have stayed,
Yep.
but we've lost a bunch. But we had a big crowd today, extra big
And-
crowd, of course, because people did get the email as soon as we found out earlier this morning Crypto Casey was going to be with us. We sent out another email, and there was more people than we usually have. So, folks, we are here for you and Crypto Casey. Just to refresh everybody's memory, Edward and myself are the education and the support arm for Crypto Casey as it pertains to the trader. So we're here to help you every Wednesday, like clockwork at 2 p.m. Eastern. We are here. We don't always have the luxury of having Crypto Casey with us like today. So Casey, thank you so much for gracing us with your presence today. That was awesome.
Yeah, of course. Thank you guys so much for helping everybody out, and thanks for everybody sticking around.
Sure thing. Yeah, thanks
All
again.
right. As we close our session, always, Mr. Barsano, final thoughts besides Go Navy.
Besides Go Navy, you threw me off. As I always do at the end of the event, I thank Crypto Casey for inviting us to talk to her audience. Thank you so much. And, we always want to educate. I'm the same as you are, Casey. I really want to just educate. And what I can say is, don't wait. Again, I'm not a salesman, but I wouldn't wait for the market to be going skyrocketing before you jump in, because when you jump in, you see that 17 lots, it took a while to accumulate that. So, you know, you want to let the auto trader have a lot of down days to build inventory. Like these last few days, 18, 17, and 19, and today, adding to inventory. You gotta build inventory. And that's what's going to make you rich. So the sooner you get in, the sooner the auto trader can start doing its job. So a lot of times people feel like, oh, we're not investing enough and all that in each trade. Don't think like that. Let it do what it's doing, because it's allocating the funds properly so that when the prices do go down, you have money to trade to be able to buy at the lowest prices. And that's a critical thing. It's what you always hear me say it. The stuff you end up buying at the very bottom is the biggest money you're gonna make. So some people don't want to buy when things are going down. I'm like, well, then you're not really gonna make a lot of money if you're waiting for things to just go up. The biggest money you can make, like I said, Donald Trump's family trust, $7 billion. They didn't buy that much crypto overnight. They've been buying for the last few years. And so the sooner you get on board, the better. Now,
Yeah.
maybe.
Okay.
Edward, you have any final thoughts before I finish it up?
Well, Casey, did we give you a chance to say final thoughts? We did. We started with you.
Yeah.
You can give final thoughts.
As always, be safe out there.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Yeah,
There's your signature send off. So my final thoughts are, you've heard me talk about what this has provided for me and my family. And yes, Mr. Barsano, it's because of you. It's because of Crypto Casey. It's because of Attilla. I would not be here and have this opportunity. You guys, everybody out there, has an incredible opportunity. You've seen, we've not been watching the chat all the way through, but Anthony and others that have decided this was a good decision for them, and automating part or as much as you want of your financial future. I can tell you personally, look, I'm 60, going on 61 years old.
Whoa, you're old.
Yeah, I know. I'm the elder here. Well, no, I'm sorry. My grandfather Attilla is the eldest. But these opportunities don't come along. I've never seen any opportunity like this before, which, as I said at the beginning, Mr. Barsano took the sport out of and made it boring to make money. This is a cash machine. He's given me the ATM of Edward. And I cannot tell you how much stress it's taken off of me to be able to provide a legacy for my children's children. That is, as Anthony talked about, that's my job, right? And I can do it in my sleep. I get to do it in my sleep, and I get to share these thoughts with all of these other great people. And it's a life changer. Don't forget what I talked about trading time for money. Money, we've solved your money problem, right? I can't solve your time problem, but I can tell you that if you use this trader, it's going to give you more time. I've got a 10-year-old, I've got a 19-year-old and a 21-year-old. I want to spend time with them, and this gives me that opportunity. So long-winded exit, but
yep, great job.
You'll regret your decision if you choose not to figure out how to participate in this. So with that, Attilla, turn it over.
Great job, everybody. Last words, I'll be about a minute. All of us can only work so much in a day, okay? We only have so much elbow grease we could put into our profession. So the problem is that once we make our money's unemployed. And it's really our responsibility and our duty to give our money a job. Our money's job should be to multiply itself while we are sleeping. And there's no better way to accomplish that than with the trader. I mean, the trader is the answer to that. So with that, I urge you to click on that link, get the $1,000 discount, go forth and multiply your money with GoBabyTrade. Crypto Casey, Ed Barsano, Edward, thank you, everybody. all of you out there in Zoom land, thank you very much for being with us. We'll see you next time.
All right, and this will be posted within 24 hours in the YouTubeosphere. So go take a look at that. And Casey, what a great surprise. Love it when you join us. Mr. Barsano, Einstein, my good friend Attila, thank you so much to everybody.
Thanks, guys.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.